I'd like to open the Northwood Board of Selectmen's meeting on May 9th, 2017 at 6 p.m. Going to do roll call.
Donald Hutchin here.
Scott Breyer.
Rick Wolf. We have a full board tonight. Now we're going to say the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. I guess our first thing of business is citizens forum, if anyone would like to speak. Would anybody like to speak for citizens forum? All right, I guess we'll move on. It says public hearing. Do we have any?
No public hearings tonight.
Seeing no public hearing, we'll move on to appointments. Our first appointment is with Concerned Citizens for Solar Power. Come to the table. Got here just in time.
Perfect.
Welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
You can proceed, whoever's in charge.
Thank you. First of all, I would like to say, please delete the concerns from that, because we are citizens of Northwood and we are trying to do something positive here. So please delete that. But
Thank you.
my name is Diana Anderson. I've been a resident of Northwood for over 16 years. And recently, a group of us in Northwood started meeting to look into ways to lower energy costs and to do something to have more control over our energy future. We were really fortunate to meet a group of people from several seacoast towns who had similar interests, and we joined up with them and formed Energize 360. And you may have seen some of our signs around town. Super. The purpose of Energize 360 is to reduce energy costs through three methods. Number one, measure. Two, reduce. And three, renew. So initially, we sent out a request for proposal to various vendors detailing our goals. We had a list of criteria, including cost, competitiveness, reliability, customer satisfaction, etc. And we chose Yankee Thermal and Revision Energy. And we recently kicked off the campaign in 5 separate towns, offering significant discounts to participants through the end of July. As I stated, our motto is measure, reduce, renew. And we are encouraging the people of Northwood to measure first by obtaining an energy audit through, oh, I'm sorry, I should have said, we chose the, yeah, I did say that, Yankee Thermal, sorry. Okay, we're encouraging them to get an energy audit through Yankee Thermal. And this is at a significantly reduced price, excuse me, and this will see if they have any areas of their homes which could be buttoned up to make it more energy efficient. Once that's conducted, they can opt to reduce and have some of the work done, and the money that was spent on the energy audit goes toward that work, buttoning up their homes. And then finally, they can renew installing solar power, solar heat pumps, or solar hot water. So the purpose of Energize 360 is to take away some of the headaches for the people in Northwood. You know, there's so much information about tax incentives and audits and weatherization and all of this. So we've done a lot of the work ahead of time to make it easier for them. And we're just trying to bring this information to our neighbors here in Northwood. So our goal is to, explain Energize 360 to you, and I'd like to introduce Christina Zlotnick from Revision Energy. If you have any specific questions, or if she'd like to tell you a little bit about Revision.
So I can start by telling you a little bit about our company, and then feel free to jump in and ask any questions you may have about price or terms of this program or the history of similar programs and how effective they've been. We are Revision Energy. We were founded in the state of Maine in 2003 by a couple of guys out of a little garage, and now we're over 160 employees across 2 states in New Hampshire and Maine, and now beginning this year in the North Shore, Mass. We started out as a solar energy company exclusively installing solar electricity. Then we got really busy with solar hot water. Then the economics changed and the price of solar power came way down, about 75% in the last 10 years alone. So it's become a lot more affordable over a short period of time. So that again represents the bulk of our business, but then we've also added a number of complementary technologies. For example, not everyone's home is a good candidate for solar, but we also have other electric technologies that can help keep your costs down. Really efficient heat pump water heaters and mini splits, which are also called air source heat pumps. And then we also do electric car chargers. So we try to take this whole house approach to what are the best ways to reduce the cost to live in your home. And so then we've explored those other technologies that I just laid out. And then this campaign is also a nice complement because it introduces efficiency in terms of weatherization. So that would be insulation and just reducing the overall electric load by tightening up that building's thermal envelope, which we always think is the best first step. So we're really glad that this is part of this program, whereas in the past what we've done is simply a solarized program, which is simply solar electricity and trying to push that out. But now it's a number of options to look at that specific home or that specific business and arrive at the best solution for that person. Do you have any questions or concerns we can address?
Mr. Chairman, I can ask a question. Are you not-for-profit? Are you for-profit?
We are a for-profit company, as is Yankee Thermal Imaging out of Rochester. Those are the 2 vendors that request for proposal sought and awarded the bid to, those energy leaders, of which Diana Anderson is one.
And we are nonprofit. We are a nonprofit group
So
trying to help neighbors.
I'm just trying to, I feel like I'm on Shark Tank. No.
That's why we're here.
So anyways.
So fire away.
No, I'm kidding. So you're a for-profit company?
Yes.
And usually I have people come in here, do these presentations to kind of sell for like PSNH will come in and we want to weatherize these homes to reduce their energy cost. So I'm just trying to, tell me, are you trying to come in here and sell something to the town? Are you trying to come in and market your product to the residents of the town? What's your exact?
So it truly came from their effort.
Right, we're
Her
trying to
effort
get
and
more
other
and more
energy leaders.
people. We've had an open house at my house, because I do have solar panels. We also had a launch last week at the community center, trying to, inform people about the options. We care about energy, we care about bringing costs down, and we are a nonprofit group. But in order for the work to be done, we had to seek people who actually do this as a business.
Is this eligible for grants and things of that nature?
Well, tax incentives.
So on solar electricity, for example, that includes a 30% investment tax credit from the federal government, plus up to a state rebate of $2,500. And there are also incentives and discounts for those other technologies that I explained earlier, and I can run through some of those numbers. I wrote them down as well. On weatherization, that's Yankee Thermal Imaging, that other vendor. who's not here tonight. They do the energy audits and the weatherization, which would include insulation and things like that. That is a $100 energy audit. And then whatever weatherization you may want for your home or business, on the order of about $6,000 to $10,000, I think, is the average larger size project, but that is also eligible for a $4,000 state rebate through New Hampshire Saves, which the utilities pool their money into that fund.
So, for an example, I have you come in and do an energy audit on my home.
Yes,
You identify all these issues.
right.
And then I'll say, yeah, fix that, fix this, fix this. It comes up to, I don't know, $6,000, $7,000. So you're saying that I pay you, then I can get a rebate from the state or get some sort of tax credit on my federal income tax return.
So you get a state rebate from the New Hampshire Saves program of up to
Is that through the
$4,000.
state energy department, like the state office of planning and energy, or is that through environmental services?
I'm not part of Yankee Thermal.
Oh, okay.
As far as I'm aware, it's the New Hampshire Saves program, and that is a fund in which all of the utilities in New Hampshire pay into. So that's where the money comes from.
Okay.
So it's from the utilities. So there's solar electricity, I outlined those incentives, and then there's also weatherization and energy audits. But then on to mini splits. Our Energize 360 program will offer, depending on the size of that system, $500 to $1,000 off. And then New Hampshire Saves also offers that individual $500 per ton. And that ton would be equal to 12,000 BTUs. And then finally, on heat pump water heaters, there's also a discount through the Energize program, a flat rate of $400 per tank. And then the New Hampshire Saves program again comes in and can offer $500 to $600 off. So these are over and above what's available to the community in general on a daily basis, but those energy leaders got together from these 5 seacoast communities, including Northwood, and decided they wanted to spend their time and effect some clean energy and operating cost savings within a focused area along the seacoast. So that's what it's all about.
Oh, thanks for answering my question.
You're welcome.
Okay. Lucy, would you like to speak next?
And I wanted to talk a little bit. Yep,
We can
sorry.
trade chairs if this, oh, it does move.
Oh, it's
I
this
tried to
slide.
move it earlier, I thought it
There you
was
go.
fixed.
I should know Gary would come after me. I've been here often enough. I just wanted to talk a little bit about why, when Diana called me about, you know, what can we do in Northwood to improve the energy picture of the town, and give people some more options and give the municipality some more options if they wanted. And we've besides doing this, we've talked about perhaps having an energy committee for the town. That's, like you have a facilities committee, or you could be part of the planning board. We've talked about that on the planning board, so that the Board of Selectmen could have somebody else, doing the research on what's available, because there's always grants and things there for towns, and there are towns that are putting solar farms out in land that they own, or on the roofs of buildings, and saving a lot of money on their electricity bills. And it seemed like there's no reason that Northwood shouldn't at least know about these things. And, you guys are busy. There's a lot of other stuff going on all the time. And so, having a group of citizens that you would appoint, I guess, I don't know. I haven't done the research yet, I must admit, on energy committees, but I know some towns have them. A lot of towns have them.
Is there, statutory, is there
I'm not,
something
I don't know, but I'm going to
Sure.
find out.
that gives the selectmen authority to
Yeah.
create one of these committees?
I don't know.
There is?
There is? Okay. And, and, I think that's my major concern, is that we look forward on this. You know, we're gonna do this thing, it runs through
I heard
June-
today the end of.
June
I
30th?
heard today the end of July. but-
Maybe the end
Yeah,
of
So it's
July?
either June 30th or July 31st, but
So this is time limited, these offers are time limited. And, but going forward, there are a number of other things. The other one I wanted to just talk about, because Christina mentioned charging stations for electric vehicles. And it just so happens that my brother, who lives up on the coast of Maine, recently bought a Chevy Bolt, which is the new Chevy car that is completely electric. And he picked it up in Braintree, Massachusetts. I guess that's the closest place he could get one.
No, you can get electric vehicle, if you go to the right dealership, I think that you can get them in Nashville.
But anyway, and it wasn't fully charged when he left the dealership. So he discovered that it seemed like every Hannaford all the way up the coast has a charging station.
Red Hook does too. The the Red Hook Brewery. They have a charging station.
So that he could, he had lots of choices to stop on his way up to his home near Bath.
That's where
And-
Scott charges his car.
And I was, we've talked about, a little bit about Northwood being halfway through between Concord and Portsmouth. And that maybe we could talk our Hannaford into getting involved in putting a charging station here for people. People could come and they could charge their cars, and they could, do a little shopping in Hannaford, or they could go to the library, or, whatever. It would be another way of getting people to know our town,
There's grant money available for that, so I've talked to DES, put a plug in for Northwood is a great spot for it, so.
Did you talk to Becky Ola?
Not recently, but I spoke to a gentleman about that.
So if,
Maybe even the park and ride would be a good spot if it would work.
So when they put those into Hannafords, that's the town funding them at those Hannafords, or is it the Hannafords purchasing them?
Typically, Hannaford, there is a grant available that'll pay for the.
Right, we can put it wherever basically we feel is the best.
No,
right?
I mean, theoretically, you could put it in town, you could put one out here in the parking lot. I mean, that's not what I'm recommending.
I know what I'm saying, I'm just saying,
You can,
if we're pitching it to Hannafords, they're getting, and like you said, they charge their car and go shopping, they're getting some sort of benefit out of it. Are we gonna try to recoup any sort of cost from them, is what I'm asking.
well, keep in mind, when the cars are charging up there,
Well, they're using
the
energy
units in
too.
Hannaford's electricity. That's gonna
Right.
go in their meter.
And they don't have a charge for it. It's free of charge.
Typically, most of these places don't have, they have slow charge ones that work overnight, they got adapters that can hook up to your house.
I think it's a great idea, I'm just
But,
asking the logistics.
Well, this is the kind of thing that an energy committee could do the research for.
Right, I think it's a
on.
great idea, I'm just asking the logistics of how they get to, in Hannafords,
right.
So-
I happen to be involved with a lot of this stuff because I work with, some of the alternative fuels pay the road toll. So I have to deal with some of the companies for collecting fuel taxes on alternative fuels. And I work with some of the state people on these different charging systems. And
So and I just wanted to leave you with that,
so were you looking for us, other than setting up a committee, you just wanted to tell us about it?
Right.
wanted to make sure that you knew about it. There will be a little article in the Sun tomorrow, I'm hoping, explaining that if you missed coming to our event last week, that it doesn't mean you can't do this, and that you can, you can, with the contact information, and they will come out and they will come out and look at your house.
Did you want to leave some of these in town hall?
I got a few extras right here, but
We'd be glad to
Be
go
a few
out
for the
too.
audience.
Well, you could put them out there if you want.
So the people can get more information there, and there's a website, and there's a Facebook page, so there's a lot of information out there. But even if you have, I had an energy audit a couple of years ago, and it turned out that most of the stuff that was suggested was not stuff that for one reason or another we could do. And I also have the perfect place to have solar panels, but I think the roof underneath that would have to be replaced first.
I have one quick question. How long, maybe you know this because your brother has one, how long does it generally take to charge to go, say, 50 miles? Like if you're you know what I mean? So I guess my concern would be if you have it at Hannaford's, if one person, say, stops there and needs a charge and there's somebody else that comes, how long is that person going to have to wait for this guy to get off the charger?
I don't know, I don't even know if they can charge more than
Well,
one.
They plug it in for each
there's one,
car.
they got these ones called fast, I'm talking about the fast charge
I
ones.
don't know anything about it, I'm just asking a question.
But I think the fast charge, they're not like instantaneously, but I think it's like 45 minutes or something like that.
For a full battery, so you can charge it to full?
Yeah, and
I
then,
just-
then they got these ones that you can hook up at, like an
At your
adapter at your house. And some of the ones are like the ones usually at your house is like a slow charge. You'd have to leave your car there overnight.
Right, well, obviously you're at home.
Yeah. No, but I'm just saying. But they
I'm just
have-
saying.
So
I mean,
don't
I'm
know.
only asking
And then
'cause-
there's kind of like middle of the road ones where you might have to leave your car there 3 or 4 hours.
So you would suggest we'd get one of the quick ones if we were gonna go that way?
Oh, absolutely, that's what you do when you put them in places like Hannaford. They have to be the
You'd
the
want to
fast
know,
charge.
I mean, if we were to put one on town property, like, I don't know how much it is, but like, obviously that would go on our electric bill.
Yeah, and it's,
I don't know how
Just a
much,
question.
I have no idea how much electricity they,
yeah, I was just concerned more like if at Hannaford's, if more than one person wants to use it at the same time, you know, how long could the possible wait
how much,
time be?
do you know how much it
basically?
costs to fully charge a car? Like, what's the
In
electrical?
terms of cost, not so much, but I do know that what you were saying is correct. So the charge that you get at home would take about 8 hours. You'd cut that in half for a level 2 charger, which is what you see across most of the area. And then some of those Hannafords, I know one in Maine has a level 3 charging system, which is about the 30 to 45 minute range. But I don't believe it's all that much in terms of electricity costs, but again, if you're having a lot of people.
Oh, I didn't think,
use
yeah,
that,
if everybody
then
was plugging in.
It's a little bit of concern then. Most places, I think it's a matter of convenience and goodwill.
Right, I don't
So
think
what
we'd
I was
have an
saying,
issue
like,
with too
it's
many
not a
people
bad
using it
idea.
either.
If
It was just a
if
question to
Hannaford
ask.
see, if Hannaford offered it, like, if we could convince Hannaford to do it, then they'd be paying all the
Right, I think
electricity.
it's a good idea, I was just asking the questions to ask.
Well, sure.
And then, and just as a last reminder, the technology is changing very rapidly nowadays. And the next thing coming down will be storage batteries for your solar electricity so that you won't be having to feed it back in, and then when the power goes out, you don't have any electricity even though you've got all these solar panels on your roof. So there's a lot of interesting stuff going on. One of the things that I just loved that I saw was solar shingles.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, they tried to sell them to me when I got my roof done.
Should have bought them.
Yeah, well, I thought about it until they told me the price. Then that changed everything.
So, and
They weren't offering any fringe benefits.
No,
No. You don't have to replace them too often, though.
no, it'd be great,
I know the
but,
prices.
but I live in a mobile home, so I couldn't see spending more than my house was worth on my roof.
well, I noticed that the mobile home down at the bottom of Old Mountain Road, they have a sign in front of them saying that they're going to be putting solar panels on there.
Yeah.
So there'll be another one to join. Diana, I don't know if there's anybody else on our road that has them
No,
yet.
but,
There's a few over on Gulf Road that do it too.
yeah.
I'd just like to say I saw these signs around recently, and I was wondering what it was about. and Now, I guess I figured it out. I
Good to hear
did,
it.
just one thing to add to it, I did know that REA has sent a lot of stuff out this week about same type of programs and giving money off for hot water tanks and heat pumps, and it's funny, it's all coming out, like somebody's trying to beat the other guy out.
Well, I mean, we all want to save money on energy, and it's a huge deal, so.
I was just surprised to see that the electric company was, kind of taking money out of their pocket to get people to, save on electricity. That was the way I looked at it, but.
Well, it's, as long as we're paying for it, we want to pay less.
I agree.
Yep.
Yeah, but the electric companies still want to make money.
Yeah, they do. They gotta
Make the
stay.
money on the more electricity they sell, the more money they make. So, I know, I still have a hard time figuring.
I don't want to pay you more money, Scott.
No, but somebody
Most of your
does.
money on the electricity bill it goes to the server more than the electricity itself, actually.
My electric bill is $13 a month,
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
the rest is charges.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
every single
So
month.
that vision for Northwood, if more people can have that option, especially
Yeah.
with the battery storage over time, will just be very, much more
Yeah, I
self-sufficient.
think getting the
and
information out there
resilient.
is the best, is the easiest thing to do once
Yeah.
you get it out there.
And all those plans for utilities to, increase transmission lines, whatever, we may not need it if we are more self-sufficient, so.
Well, thanks for the presentation.
Thank you for
Thank you
listening.
for coming in.
Thank you for being so receptive, and thank you for giving us the time.
You're welcome.
Really
You're
appreciate
more
it.
than welcome.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Sorry to ask so many questions.
Oh, it was great, that's why we're here. See you next winter.
Why, you plow her?
Yes, I do. I didn't know she had it until last year. I happened to get far enough by the corner of the building, I happened to look up. I don't know how long they've been there, but,
They've been there since March last year.
yeah, so that must have been about when I noticed them.
Thanks a lot.
See ya.
Have a good night. You ready to move on, Joe?
Sir, when you're ready.
Moving on, I guess we have a meeting with the recycling committee tonight. If you guys like to come to the table.
Not you guys.
Oh, you're alone. Oh, I don't know who's in the audience. Oh, that's Pat. I recognize him now. I was wondering who was sitting back there. Sorry about that.
We looked at the fees for the recycling, believing that it would be folded into all of your fee changes that you were going to make at the beginning of the year. So I'm really quite surprised to be sitting here by myself tonight doing this. It's not really what I expected to do. I will go down through these, and you can do with them
Well, we have to
tonight or
have,
whenever.
we have to have we can talk about these, but we still have to have a public hearing before we can
Yeah.
accept them.
Yeah.
He knows
Okay. And then I'll give you an update about the recycling education program that we're doing at the school. So there's a basic premise here, and that is things that people can get recycled by other businesses as they buy new products. We're trying to get them to do that and not bring them to the transfer station, so those fees are going to go up. And the things that don't have a place to go, then we have a civic responsibility, and we are reading your intent that we drop those charges. So if you look at passenger, you look at tires and you look at mattresses, you have a place to deal with those. And when you buy a new set, a new mattress, they will take those, and you should those, okay? So the passenger tires and commercial tires are $5 or $10. $5 for a passenger tire, $10 for a commercial tire, or the going rate. So if the going rate happens to be less than $5 or $10, then we drop it. If it's more, then we're just trying to cover our costs, okay? Mattresses, a generic mattress is $10. Now, if you have a twin or a full, that's still $10. If you have a king, it's $15, and the box spring is another $10. So you bring in a king-size mattress with a box spring, it's $25. We'd like to have an asterisk attached to that if it's wet, there's either a surcharge or we won't take it that day. You got to dry it out, because a wet mattress is one heavy thing. So then a generic TV, you have a TV from 1932, it's $10. Okay? If you have a flat screen TV up to 49 inches, it's $5. Okay, it doesn't, it has electronics in it, but it doesn't have all the nasty stuff that we have to get rid of, okay, that the older TVs do, so $5. If it's over 50 inches, it's $10. If it's a console TV in a wooden structure, it's $25. And if you bring in a CRT, then it's a $5 surcharge on top of probably the $10 would be considered a generic TV. So sofas, three-seat sofas are $20. A plush love seat, sorry, that got left off, is $10. And a sleeper is $15, all of that metal stuff that's underneath it and taking all of that apart and getting that separated out. So that's $15. Kitchen chairs, 1 for $2 or 4 for $5. If you're a generic chair, you're $3. Then if you're a kitchen chair, then you're 1 for $2 or 4 for $5. A stuffed furniture chair is $5 and a recliner is $10. Tables are $5. Computer to monitors, flat screens, they're $5. There's the CRT surcharge again for $5, just to show you that if it's one of the older monitors, it's $10. $5 for the computer monitor and the $5 for the CRT surcharge. Laptop towers, game consoles are free. All right, speaker systems, those are free. Home appliances, washer, dryer, stove, those are free. Piano is still $60. We're the only transfer station in the state that charges for a piano or an organ. But it's $60. So we didn't change that. And then what we're doing is home appliances are free. Okay, so now what do you do about a refrigerator, freezer, air conditioner, or humidifier? They have Freon in them. So what we did was we said, okay, all those home appliances are free, but if they have Freon in them, contrary to Freon, they're not free. They have a $10 surcharge. It's costing us about $8.25 for the Freon, something like that, somewhere close to $8. So we're expecting that, so we rounded it to 10. Demo? No. Well, we stayed until the candles burned down, and we never came to a conclusion about what to do with demo. So we left that unchanged.
Okay. Can I go now? I think demo was the one that we were most concerned about. And then my other question would be, you want to charge $20 for a sofa, but you want to charge $15 for a sleeper that has more stuff in it. That makes no sense. The sleeper sofa has more in it than a regular sofa, so why would we charge more for a sofa than we would a sleeper?
You're right. I think that's supposed to be 25.
That's the first thing that kind of popped in my brain.
I got to look that up in the minutes. I bet that's 25, and that's a typo on the sheet. I apologize for that.
No, this is the first thing I caught in my brain.
You were there. Do you happen to remember?
I honestly don't.
No, neither do I. I'm sorry.
I honestly don't. And then I also have kind of an issue with paying $10. I'm not saying that the $10 for a mattress is excessive, but I don't see why we should charge the same price for the box spring that weighs usually a third of the weight of a mattress. That's just kind of my opinion. I mean, I could see the upcharge maybe in the mattresses per se, but to charge the same amount for a mattress as we do a box. I mean, I know we're doing it now. We charge $5 for each now, but to up both of them to the same.
Because we're paying by weight, right?
Correct. But if you've touched any box spring, they weigh hardly nothing.
Yeah, there's nothing to them.
So, I mean, I can't, as a citizen going in there, I would be, if you charge me $10 for my box spring and then $10 for my mattress, I'd say, well, my mattress weighs twice as much as the box spring. Why, you know what I mean? Why would I pay the same amount?
Yeah.
That's
Mr. Hodgson, the reasoning is, and if you either buy the reasoning or you don't buy
No,
the reasoning.
you want them to take it somewhere.
Take it someplace
get rid of it.
else. So we're
But
trying to
I
disincentivize
understand your
people.
reasoning, but that might end up, somewhere else might end up to be a back road somewhere. And I'm not saying that it's gonna end up there, but I'm saying, I get your reasoning, and you're right, most places will take them. Just like when I had my roof done, they took all my shingles, I didn't pay a dime, it was a
Right.
part of the deal.
Part of, right.
Paid somewhere, though.
Yeah, I paid somewhere, but I mean, I didn't have to take them to the transfer station and pay. I understand your concept of what you're trying to get across, I completely do.
Because both of them make sense. If you want to disincentivize people, then charging for both of them makes sense, okay? Because now I look at it and I go, okay, I'm going to make an economic decision. An economic decision is I'm going to give it to the place where I bought my new mattress from, okay? But if you look at it from Mr. Hodgson's point of view, which he was, take his point of view that he was arguing, you look at the weight of them, then yeah, the fees are a little high.
Yeah, but most people, in general, when you go to the store and buy furniture, they don't usually ask, not to say that it's not their due diligence, but if they say, no, we'll get rid of them ourselves, by the time they get to the transfer station and realize they're getting charged extra, they can't bring them back to where they just bought their furniture. Because they won't take it no more.
Correct. And that's,
So until we get this, unless we get this pounded into everybody's head, we're still gonna fight the same problem of we're charging too much money. And we're gonna have people, I'm not saying that your idea is wrong, I'm just saying, you're gonna have people coming in here and saying, hey, I could've got rid of it for free, but now I got to the dump and now I gotta pay $10, I didn't know that, so now I'm stuck paying $10, because I didn't ask the company that took my stuff to take it.
when we were last here, it was very clear that we were to have no capital money to change the transfer station in any way. We were supposed to keep the transfer station the way that it is. And so we have changed our mission, we have changed our methodology, and we are getting heavy into education, which in the first phase you're going to see on May 22nd when we go into the 5th grade. And we have a speaker coming to educate the 5th graders that's going to blow their socks off. Ray Doobie, from the sustainability manager from Coke Northern New England, has a story that is absolutely unbelievable. He has the show and tells. He's got the 4 different phases that the plastics go through, and he has it down. He has the story down to convince people. He's not an environmentalist.
Yeah, but you're
He doesn't
convincing the
talk.
5th graders.
He doesn't talk from an environmental point of view. When he talks to adults, he says, look, if you recycle this, this, and this, it goes to New Hampshire businesses. We have businesses in New Hampshire that hire New Hampshire people to take care of these recyclables. And these businesses that want this plastic can't get enough of it.
And they're
So
not
if you
paying for
recycle, you're adding and helping the jobs in New Hampshire. When he talks to kids, what he says is, you see this empty soda bottle you have right here that you're going to throw into the compactor at your transfer station? That's going to go in that compactor, going to go through the cycle, and it's going to come back and it's going to be your North Face jacket that you have on now. Or it's going to be the fleece that I happen to have on now. Do you know that cardboard that you put in? Do you know that cardboard that you took to the transfer station on Saturday? That's going to become a monopoly board. That's where that's going. It's going to Massachusetts. It's going to become a monopoly board. He's going to grab those kids and he's going to have them in his hands. And so what's our next step? Our next step as a recycling committee is that you're going to start to see posters and displays at the transfer station. They're going to change regularly. They're going to show people what the connection is between that plastic bottle that they're throwing away and a product, how it comes back. When they put their paper in, where does it come back? When you do this, what happens to it? And so we have changed from the building is gone. Okay, the building is off our agenda.
I don't believe that.
Well, it is, because you told us no capital money, and it's just banging our head against the wall. We're going
I'm gonna
heavy into
ask you a
education.
question, okay? This is just out of my personal experience. I've worked there for a very, very long time. One of the biggest things the issue we had there is people reading signs. You think they're gonna read posters? And that's the truth. You know that as well as I do. How often do things get put where they're not supposed to with a sign right in front of it? Very, very often. I dealt with it for a long, long period of time. Your ideas are great, but if you ain't getting the people, you're not gonna change the way people read just by putting a poster up. That's not. It's unreal. It's unrealistic. It hasn't happened yet. We've put millions of signs down there. Nothing's changed.
then you should take some time and go hear Mr. Doobie on the 22nd, go to one of the 5th grade classes.
I don't need to hear his story.
I actually saw him do it's the guy from Coke.
Mhm.
I actually had him to see him do a presentation up at the state.
I stood in front of him 15 minutes at the Made in New Hampshire Expo, and he never said the word Coke. Never. It's not a commercial. He does not do a commercial. He fully understands that he is not allowed to come into our elementary school and do a commercial. Now, he'll have a coat shirt on,
Of course you are.
okay, and I'm okay with that. But it is not a commercial. What he does is not a
Well, I
commercial.
didn't say it was a commercial, I said I've seen the presentation, it's great. I've seen his presentation.
And reading is a challenge. So, putting posters up, okay, there are other ways to educate people. There are other funny ways. There are other catch your attention ways of getting to people and getting to stop and look and think. And so that, yeah, there'll be a way that we will educate people that take the mattress, let them take the mattress back. Let them take your tires. Take your computer back to where you bought it. I mean, if you don't buy into that, then you need to look at the fee schedule again. And I totally agree with that.
My problem with the fee schedule in general is they've already paid taxes to get rid of it.
Do that too.
I don't see any issue with our fee schedule the way it is. People are paying the taxes to get rid of it already once. We're charging them again to get rid of it. So we're actually making out money. That money goes into the general public, the general fund, and we use it to buy down the tax rate. So what you're saying by trying to force them to go to another place to get rid of it, you're actually cutting into people's tax rate because we will no longer be generating that money because we want them to take it someplace else. So we're gonna start losing money in the general fund to buy down the tax rate because you want to have your idea is to send them to get rid of it somewhere else, not to get rid of it at our transfer station. Not to you want them to generate the money to Best Buy, because they usually charge you. It's not free to get rid of it. When Lowe's delivers an appliance, they don't take it for free, they charge you. So you want them to get the revenue, not the town. That's what you're saying.
Some places do charge, some places.
Some
it's
places
probably- Don't, but it's probably added in the price. We all know how that
You're
works.
still paying for, so, but what I'm saying is we're gonna lose the revenue. By doing it this way, the town will lose revenue.
And the
not gonna gain
hauling
But
poundage
if
will go
we
down.
But if we lose, well, I was gonna say that, if they're not dumping it here, are we saving on disposal costs?
We're still gonna, so we're gonna start, all right, when we do this, and we'll do it down, are we gonna lower the amount of money? I don't see that happening. I bet you it doesn't change the cost.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Thanks. Just had a question on one of these. I don't know as though when we have a public hearing on the rates, under the commercial ties, you're proposing a market rate. I think we actually have to put a amount in there. We can't just say market rate.
Plus, we're getting charged $1.50 a tire. We're gonna charge $5. It's $3.50 we're making per tire.
Yeah. I mean, I was just making a comment. We need to have a,
I understand that, but we were charging $3, we were making double the amount. We were making double the amount at $3.
hey, Jim,
That's a 50% markup.
thanks for your effort, though. I appreciate the committee doing that. Thank you.
Not a problem.
I do have one question. My question is, maybe I misunderstood you on appliances. We're gonna take appliances for nothing?
Correct.
So that means we're gonna be minus $8 on every refrigerator
No,
we
we're gonna
take
charge
in.
for the Freon, we're gonna charge for the refrigerators for the Freon.
Freon.
We're gonna charge for the ones with Freon, but because we make money on the stoves,
I don't see any charger on that one.
appliances,
the very-
Freon, $10 each, because we make money on the
No,
stoves.
that's microwaves. This says nothing on the
Oh,
Freon.
wow.
And
it
microwaves.
should be.
Microwaves have
Whole
mercury in
thing
them.
says
It
nothing.
should
That's why
be.
I asked
It
that
should.
question.
It should.
The appliances with Freon have a $10 surcharge because they have Freon in
Nothing
them.
on the line where it says it.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I'm not picking on you, but that's why I thought
I
that's
took
why I
the-
wanted to clarify it.
I made
I
the
think
back,
this is supposed
I
to
made
be
the
a-
background white and I didn't leave the lines in there.
Right.
But good question. Appliances with Freon are $10, because it costs us about $8 to deal with the
Right,
Freon.
that's what I was
Okay?
thinking, but
The microwave has nasty mercury in it, so you have to deal with that.
I didn't have a question
And
about that.
I have another question about
So there's
demo.
a surcharge on that. You can throw the microwave away for nothing, you just got to pay the
My
surcharge
question
for us
was
to get
just
rid of
that
the
this
mercury.
line here that says
Yes.
refrigerators has no amount. That was-
My other question
And I'm
about...
not picking on you, I
My
just
other-
wanted to clarify.
My
should pick
question
on me.
about the demo is I know we
You go.
mentioned it in a meeting. Did anybody ever contact Northwood Auto Salvage to see if they would work out some sort of deal where we could use their scale so we could go to weighing our demo? I know I brought it up several times. I'm sure that because it's my idea, it got kicked underneath the rug, and nobody said a word. Because we could actually charge by the weight. It's right across the street. We could give them a couple cents. I'm sure they'd be willing to allow us to do it because they're a small company. Has anybody even contacted them? I bet you the answer is probably no. Yeah, exactly. That's what I thought.
We were waiting to see what the fee schedule looked like before we.
No, it was because it wasn't your idea.
Mr. Hodgson, I
Right,
take
let's not
great,
go
I
there
take great
tonight.
offense to that, because we listen to you
Because I
at
said
every
it
time.
3 times. I gave a
We
month.
lo-
I had plenty of time. I actually went and talked to him
Can I
myself.
make a motion? Could somebody reach out to, could somebody entertain Mr. Hodgson's suggestion and reach out to them to see if that's a possibility? They might, see if there's something they might not even want to be involved with it.
All we would be doing is using their scales to drive on and off. They would, my idea would be, you go there, you have demo.
So I just said, I'm helping you.
I've already talked to him. But that's not my job to do. I'm not gonna speak on their behalf. You can, I mentioned it.
Okay,
I knew that it wasn't
I'll
gonna-
make a motion. Somebody want to second that?
I'll second it.
I'd just like to say in the past, I don't know about now, but in past, if you had a trailer or anything you wanted to weigh, you could also go to Harding Metals. I think at one time they did it for nothing, and maybe the last time I asked them, might have
If we
been
paid-
a
say we
dollar
paid-
charge or something to get weighed, but
Say we pay 12 cents a pound, we charge 20 cents a pound. We give them, I don't know, I'm just throwing numbers out here. We give them 3 cents a pound just to weigh it. They come to us, they go to
either that
them,
or
they
a
weigh
flat
it.
fee.
Whatever, or a flat fee, whatever it is, that the deal ends up being worked out as. We go to them, whoever, you drive in, you got demo, you send them across the street, say, go get weighed, they come back, they empty it out, they go back over there, they get weighed, they pay them there, because you don't want them to have to come back again. And then we take our share, or however it works. They can make the check to the town of Northwood, however you want to work the contract. Or they could come back and pay, whatever way you want to do it. I think it's another avenue.
I know there's been a lot of complaints on, some people feel they get charged more to dump this amount than another guy did, and I realize that the demo weight is a problem. And what we can do to fix it, I don't really know at this point, but I think it's worth looking into, and
Yeah, where we struggled is, somebody comes in with a window, they replace the window.
Right.
They replaced the door, not we'll leave the window out because that's got glass in it. They replaced the door. So they got the frame in the door.
Right, so, I mean, we
So
also have to
they-
use our better judgment, too. We
Sure.
can't send everybody over there that has a little, go ahead.
Before we get off track here, I would suggest that we just take a vote to whether give Joe direction to reach out to contact that company.
Sure.
I need a vote, yeah.
So I, motion,
All in
DJ
favor?
second. I support the motion. Yes,
Aye.
uh,
Now, I mean, to your point, Jim, you're right. You don't want to send everybody over there that has maybe this much demo. I mean, that's, once again, we got to start using our better judgment. You know, if they have a little bit of demo where you can give them a reasonable price, and you know it's going to be a fair price, if they're coming, my vision would be, if you're coming in with shingles, you're going to get weighed. You're coming in with sheetrock, you're going to get weighed. You're coming in with a small bundle of sticks, I'm gonna charge you probably $5 or $10. You know, if you're coming in with a trailer load, you're going to get weighed. You're coming in with a little box like this full of wood, I'm not gonna send you to go get weighed. That's just,
Just a quick question. Don't they have to weigh the truck before they come in so they know how the truck weighs in?
right, so when you do is
that's
when
why
they
you'd
come
have to
in,
go back empty to get reweighed.
right, and you could have them pay there, or come back and pay here, whatever the deal, however you wanna work it. I mean, I know we have good relations with Hardin's. You could have them pay right at Hardin's, and then Hardin's gives us the check, or whatever.
But they're pretty busy. I don't even know if they'd want to get.
Well, they're not
involved
probably
in
open on Saturdays and Sundays. I know Northwood Auto Salvage is pretty much open every day that we are.
it. No, then I don't want Saturdays or Sundays.
I see them open on Saturdays sometimes. I mean, sometimes it's one of those things that you can try. It's just another option because that seems to be the biggest complaint we get about is the demo, not so much any of the other things. It's the demo.
So just to be clear, the weighing on the scales at another business and all that procedure, that is administrative procedure, decision be made by the Board of Selectmen, and it will be executed by the town administration. It's not on the, you're not putting it on the recycling committee's dock.
My
Cool.
intention,
That wasn't the way I took it, but
Okay. Okay, and you don't have a problem that our direction now is education, is educating our neighbors.
I don't.
I wish you the best of luck with it.
Okay. We do have, just as a heads up, we do have buildings, new buildings in the works, and getting prices on the new buildings so that the battery building would disappear, the light bulb building would disappear.
Was that
Where-
included in the capital improvement plan?
That would be under $10,000.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
And what we were planning on doing was structuring it in a way and buying them in a way that we could use the transfer station expendable trust fund. Because it's improvements in maintenance of the transfer station. So that we have those in the works, and those should be coming to you shortly.
My question is what's wrong with the ones that are there? Why can't we refurbish the
The
ones that are
battery
there?
building has no floor in it.
So we can put a new floor in for about $200. Just saying. So we need a new building because the floor's gone?
Then come tomorrow night at the meeting, and we can discuss that at the
I will, but you guys never like my answers.
recycling committee meeting at the transfer station. You have the final decision.
I just think
Anybody
these
else
committees are
come?
getting out of control with just spending money that is unnecessary. That's just my opinion on all the committees, not just this one. I mean, that's just my opinion.
any other comment? We need to move on.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jim.
For your presentation.
Welcome.
Okay, let me find my agenda. What did I do with it? All right, I guess we're ready to move on to unfinished business. Is there anything under that?
Nothing under unfinished business, and the minutes from the last meeting aren't done yet.
All right, so we're moving on to
You got any
beyond
assessment?
those two.
Do have assessing.
Assessing.
Last time we were here, we went back and asked about the 100 cubic yards of gravel. Marcia went back and looked, and it was 100 yards that they put on the form.
Okay.
We talked about it, she said we could have the state check into it if we wanted to see if it was really, that's what they
I
were
mean,
asking.
if a guy owns a gravel pit and he's only taking out 100 yards in
I don't know
a
how
year,
much-
that's not much
My-
gravel. That's 5 truckloads.
Is that a whole year? Or is that just what he's asking to take out right now?
That's what he's asking to take out right now.
Yeah, so he can come back for more if he wants more.
They don't come back once they get approved for the year. That's the gate to keep on running, is the way I look at it.
Yeah, I don't know how that works. I'm just,
I mean,
gotta,
it's-
Well, isn't that part of,
kind of take a guy at his word.
That's,
isn't that part of the enforcement thing that somebody from here monitors that, follows up and says how much they took out of there?
I doubt it.
I'm not just asking. a
well, this is for the taxes, so it would be, again, I talked to the assessing folks, and they said it's the state who would monitor.
Thanks.
Do we have an idea of what he asked for last year? What this
Um,
particular person asked for last year? Because, I mean, that could kind of gauge, like, what he does per year.
I think it's been pretty consistent.
Yeah, that's what I heard, it's very consistent, to about 100 every year.
Yeah, like I said, I
I don't know if you
don't,
guys want that or not.
I just go by what,
Okay, I'll just see, moving along. I'll make a motion to, approve, notice to intent to excavate, is there a map and lot number on here, or?
Top left, number 2, block number 2, line number 2.
To approve a intent to excavate tax map M117, Lot 25G. It's on Gulf Road, so I'll move that for approval.
I'll second it for a discussion. I think we should amend it to like say it needs to be, if you guys are concerned that he may be taking more, that we need to keep a real close eye on this, so the town doesn't end up losing money, if you want to amend it in that way. I don't know how else we can't not accept this, I don't believe. I mean, we gotta let him excavate it, it is his business.
I think 100 yards hauling out of a gravel pit isn't a lot of material with.
I mean,
it's
I don't know how
being
much work he
used.
does, it doesn't sound like a
I mean,
lot.
I guess my question is, if somebody's got a business, and they're
Yeah, but
coming
you're
in.
supposed to pay like 8 cents a, whatever it is, whatever the fee is, you're supposed to pay. on
Can't
whatever you
we
haul out.
audit him and see what he's
Well, no,
selling?
they don't, we're not the tax collector for this, the state is.
Yeah, the state is collecting.
We're
tax.
just giving them permission to excavate. Do we get that money, or how's that work?
We get a portion of this.
Yeah.
If I
So it's the
understand
state's
correctly.
responsibility to collect this, and we get a portion.
Right, so I mean, I don't know what else we can do.
So we're not responsible for auditing it, that's what
I
I'm saying.
understand, but what, are we supposed to say no, so we can't?
I don't think we can say no. I mean, what's our legal, from a citizen's point of view, what right do we have to deny this person use of their property?
Besides the fact that
Because we think he's gonna take out more, I mean, we can think whatever we want, but does that give us the right to say no to this?
I don't think it does.
Fine, approve it.
I could ask the building inspector just to go
Well,
down.
no, I
and
just was,
just to see what's going
Does
on.
this have to be signed tonight?
Well,
Is
we've
there a
already pushed-
deadline on
we've
it?
already
I know,
pushed it
but
off.
we didn't get good answers, I don't think.
okay.
I mean, all we asked is if it was a misprint, and she's saying it wasn't, that's kind of what we asked for.
Yeah.
They're not gonna be able to tell us whether or not he's using more than 100 yards, we're not gonna know that unless somebody sits there and watches him every time he does it. Do I think that's a little iffy? Yeah, but I don't, like Scott said, what are we supposed to do?
don't
It's
have
the
a
state's
problem.
responsibility to keep an eye on whether or not he's taking more.
Move the question.
Oh, right, well,
Well, you can, go ahead. Ask for a vote.
I'll take a vote.
I'm gonna vote aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
So any opposed?
I'm opposed, because I don't think we got good information.
Okay. So it's 2-1.
That's it.
What's the next one? Do you have a list, make a motion?
I only have 3. This intent to cut.
Vote for it.
Okay, I have a intent to cut, tax map 212, lot 65. So I'll move approval. All the taxes been paid?
All the taxes have
I'll
been paid
second.
on all of these, yeah.
Can I see it for a second? Wow, 300 acres.
That's what I said.
That's a big lot.
Yeah, it is.
You're gonna do some serious cutting, huh?
Putting in condos?
I have no idea. You never know where these things are because you just get a lot number. And that's all you get, so.
Well, you could look the map.
That's the problem I have with some of the stuff that comes through. You have no idea where it is. It could be anywhere. It could be in a place that maybe,
Well,
if you
isn't
knew
there
more
a-
about, you
isn't
wouldn't.
Isn't there a tax map in here? Isn't there like a map you could look at?
Now, you guys want me to get a tax map?
Well, I was just saying, if,
No, I
not
just-
right now, but in the future, maybe it would be beneficial to have a tax map out here, so
I'll-
that we could get an idea where this property is located.
You know, people
I'll
sign
bring
their
a text-
names,
I'll
and
bring
you
a
can't
text.
even read their name the way they scribble them. That would give you an idea. If you could read the name, you'd have a half an idea where they were gonna cut 300 acres off. I mean, I think it's important sometimes to know
Rick,
where
let-
they're cutting at.
Yeah, let me grab a map. I mean, it'd take me, just a few seconds to run out there and grab
Do
it.
you know?
Hey, look, there's money.
I can't
Thanks.
I've never seen it.
I mean, last week we were having a battle about cutting near conservation land. This could have bought it for all I know. All you got's a lot and a map number. Doesn't tell me where it is. And last week we had a concern about people cutting near conservation land. This could be next to it for all I know. When they do this, why can't they put an address on it or something?
It's like everything's a big secret.
Did you see this?
Yeah, I saw
Did you
it.
see that? Guess what's gonna end up in there? I bet you the highway department stuff's gonna end up in there if we buy that fucking thing. You retarded?
Easy.
Was it 212?
212, lot 85, 65, I guess.
This is 73, 67, oh, that's the, there it is right there, 300 acres.
Durgan Pond.
Oh, that's a nice spot back there, too. That's a nice spot back there. There's hiking trails that go through there.
Yeah. I mean, there's not much we can do, like we said about the last thing. I mean, the guy can go in and clear cut it, I guess.
Public service, so that's right by the power lines.
Yeah, that's a big piece of woods. Whatever. We discussed it.
Okay.
Someone wants to move it? Well,
I'll move the
We already have a motion and a second, you just gotta call the vote.
roll call.
I'm gonna
Everybody in
vote.
favor?
I'm gonna vote.
I'm gonna go with
yay.
a aye.
Aye. Passes 3-0.
Okay, we'll sign it.
You gotta sign it too, everybody does.
We all have signed it down, right here. It's up there, but it's down here, signature assessor, Minnesota official.
Let's see how much timber tax money we get out of it. That'll tell us how good they got it.
This one bears a little bit of explanation. A resident of 40 years in Northwood came and he filed a veteran's credit just a couple days late. It's up to the Board of Selectmen whether you want to assess his credit this year, 2017, or next year in 2018. Do me a favor, for the assessor, circle the year that you want to assess to give him his credit, and then the rest of it as you vote normally.
I don't have a problem with a couple of days late, but
Well,
Do we have that?
I'm gonna make the motion for tax year 2018,
I'll second for discussion, just so we can.
just because
Part.
there is, from my own experience of being an administrator of taxes, I try to give somebody some flexibility, but there's always that once in a line, well, it's only a couple days late, and then you move that mark, and then somebody else comes in, oh, I'm only a couple days later. I support veterans, and I support giving this credit to a veteran, but I think there's rules are rules, and if it was late, it should go for the 2018 tax year, so I will make a motion for approving it effective tax year 2018.
I'll second for discussion. I don't disagree with you, Scott, by push, like what you're saying in setting a precedence, but I mean, he's lived in town for 40 years, so I guess that could be a case-to-case scenario. I'm not disagreeing with you, so, I mean, I'm okay with 2017. I understand your points is trying to push it out to 2018, and I don't disagree with him. I'm basing my 2017 on the fact that he's been a long-term resident in town, so I guess in this scenario, I would say that I would be okay with either one, but
I
The
need,
motion's 2018.
yeah, I know what it is. I'm just discussing my opinions, that's all. I'm okay either one, which, you know, I'm just letting you know how I feel.
so I would need a vote on this motion for the
Yeah, that's
2018,
fine. We're
okay?
just discussing, I'm just letting you know how I feel about my fact on it. And Rick can discuss how he feels. I'm okay either one. If you want to stay, I understand Scott's point, because then, like he said, you get somebody else that come in here and said, hey, well, you gave him a couple days. And
I think it's just it's a,
Pandora's box almost.
well, there's
it's a minimal amount of money, and I mean,
there's rules.
I know, but a couple of days late, a lot of things go a couple of days late when we waive fees on tax bills, and they're
We waive-
years overdue.
We waive fees on tax bill when there's a hardship. On a hardship with somebody that's looking at losing their home. This was somebody,
I won't second it, but you guys can if you want.
oh, no, he already seconded it.
Oh, whatever. So we gotta take a vote, or?
Yeah. I just point out that, if I pay, a lot of stuff, if I pay it late, I'm not talking about town stuff, but any stuff I pay late, I have to pay a penalty. That's the law.
You charge him $20 for
I-
a late penalty because he applied late, if that's the way you feel.
I'm not trying to be difficult.
No, I know, but I'm
I
just
think-
saying.
Let's just call for a vote. I think I'm gonna vote aye for the current motion, because I agree with Scott by setting precedents. Would I like to see it at 2017? Yes, but I'm gonna vote aye, because I agree with Scott that there's rules that
That's
we
fine.
kinda have to follow those. I mean, I feel bad, but we have these rules in place for a reason.
That's fine, it's your choice.
Okay. Call
Call for a vote.
Yeah, we need a vote.
I'm gonna vote
I'm
aye
gonna vote aye.
for 2018.
No vote, no.
So, motion passes 2
2
to
to
1.
1.
And that's all the assessing I have for you tonight.
The next one is what? Oh, yeah. We're on the manifest now,
Yep.
Get out of here before midnight.
maybe.
Let's say, ninth?
Ninth, yeah. Check the box, you gotta check the box.
Check the box.
See the yellow note, see where it's highlighted?
So, question is, will you put the 2018
He had it circled on the
You
front.
gotta circle it on the front,
front?
and he'll apply it to the 2018
Which one
taxes.
you wanna do?
I'll attach a copy of these minutes to this, so that way he has it.
And then we're granting it.
Yep.
Does it have to be a full and a dot or
I
a check?
think you could just
You
check
won't
it.
have to reapply next year, it's just a one-time
No,
application.
it's a one-time, he'll get it.
Yeah, that's it. It's a one-time thing.
Yeah,
He
it's
just
not,
missed his
we're giving
date.
it to him, we just,
It's a bummer that he missed the date, but
I heard a little bit of the story, and he missed it for 40 years. He didn't know about it for 40 years. $10,000?
Probably
No.
all right, manifest. I'll make a motion to,
Go sign it, Rick.
just the payroll?
That's just the payroll.
Do you have two or just this?
Just that?
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve manifest P 2017, number 10, in the amount of $54,028.28.
I'll second for discussion.
Okay,
Any discussion?
I haven't actually had a chance to look at all the stuff, have you?
No, I haven't either.
I mean, I'm
this is payroll.
payroll? Okay.
There's not much we can do about it.
No.
I still like to look at it, and I will look at it in the morning.
Oh, sorry, we approve.
Yeah,
Good vote.
Ready for a vote?
Yep.
Call a vote?
I'm gonna vote aye.
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 Passes 3-0.
Purchase orders,
No POs tonight.
POs, miscellaneous signatures.
Hey, who's running this meeting?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was signing my name, that's fine. You
I'm
got
just
right on,
kidding. I'm
Scott.
just busting
Keep it
chops.
moving, no, keep it.
I'm just busting chops.
Keep it moving.
I'm just busting chops.
So where are we down, the fee schedule discussion? We already had that,
You
or
already
we got
had
another
that.
one.
Yep. Oh, brief discussion. No, we need to do miscellaneous approvals.
Yeah, all right.
Sorry, we already went by that.
No, sorry.
Scott called it.
I'm just busting your chops.
It's only $912, but because it's adding on to the current contract, I'm asking the board to put a printer for the fire department on a blanket contract for the town. And I need your approval because it is part of a contract.
I'll second it for
Discussion.
discussion.
We're gonna make a
I
motion
need
first.
We'll make a
Give me-
motion.
I'll move the question.
Second.
What, so to step back, is it the fire department, is this coming out of the fire department's budget?
Yeah, I talked with Nick and I gave him the paperwork. It's going to come out of his contracted services. It's $76 a month and he's confident he can absorb that cost.
So this is a lease on the
We're
machine?
leasing it?
This is a lease, just like it's similar to
Is
the
it a
one that's
heavy
here.
duty, like, full,
It's a mid-range because
So
they don't
my-
do a lot
I
of
guess my
printing.
question is, not to say, what do they use the copy machine for down there? Just
They use a lot of faxes.
Yeah.
It's a faxer, scanner, copier, and
May I ask, what would it be for us to outright buy a
It's-
decent printer that can, you're paying what, $75 a month?
$76 a month.
What's the payment on one home?
It's $3,000 to buy it outright.
Well, what if we, I guess, how many faxes, where I'm going with this, do they need that elaborate a printer?
It doesn't look like that. It's a little smaller than this
I
one.
mean,
But I'm
we
saying
get away with a standard fax
$3,000,
machine, I guess, is what they're
if-
saying.
You know, is it,
Well, we sent the salesman down there, and him and, well, it's the salesman, but,
course it's the
you know, he hashed it out with the guys down there, and they said the smaller version would work for them.
I'm just trying to say, I think I just bought a printer, it was like $250 to $300.
Yeah, I have a printer that was like
That's
that.
where I'm going with this.
I have a
Do they
Wi-Fi
need-
printer
Oh,
too.
do
That's
Do
a
they
fax
actually need a copy printer? That's what I'm trying to get
Yeah,
at.
yeah, no,
What's their volume?
they've been,
machine. I have a fax machine, a copy
I
printer.
don't know what their volume is now.
Well, I mean, that would vary into the station.
It
I mean,
does.
if they're doing a couple hundred printings, they can get by with something less. If they're doing
But
a
that's why
couple
we,
thousand a day,
that's why
you
we,
need that.
that's why we went with this route, because they've been going through printers and copiers. They just buy them and they die because they use them so much. Instead of buying a $400 printer today and having it crap out in 6 months, they buy something that'll last.
Just making a point here, she said that's $74
$76
a month.
a month.
Times 12, that's 1,200.
74 times 12.
$1,000 a
Nine
year.
76.
So we're
Nine
paying
bucks a
almost
month, 12.
$900 for a printer.
Printer,
I don't even
So
know.
we could
Printer,
go out and probably
fax.
buy one, I could buy a printer, that fax machine for $500 that could basically do the same thing, cash.
okay.
So my question is this necessary?
The fire department deemed it necessary. They've been burning, they have a stack of printers and fax machines and copiers.
So if they're burning out,
In the
they're burning
narrows.
out 2 a year or 1 a year?
It's a couple, since I've been here, they've
Yeah,
gone through at least 3.
what kind are they buying?
Yeah, what are they
Well,
buying?
they've been buying $500 copiers, fax
Oh, they're
machines.
probably buying $200.
I don't
Any
know.
more comments?
I don't.
I have none because
I don't know a lot
nothing
about
that
copying machines. I just know that that's a lot of money a month to not even own it.
stuff. How about if we seek to buy one? Can we get a plan to do that?
Yeah, for the mid-grade one, it was $3,000. But that seems,
What do you think, Scott?
If they state they got a need for it, I'm just saying, I have no, it'd be nice to have metrics like how many copies they do a year. Instead of saying, they go through 2 printers a year.
no.
Well, those, I mean, I can pick up a fax printer machine for $199, so even if I bought 3, that's still
I can
cheaper
pick up
than the
I can pick up a wireless one for $59. It does all the same things.
It's just my point. It'd be nice if I had the volume.
Let me get you the volume. I'll bring it back next,
So I guess.
Next
we're
week.
gonna
We'll table
this.
that, I guess. I'll resend my second.
And
table.
we could vote it down.
Well, okay. You can call it.
Whichever way you want to go.
You're the
You
chairman.
guys, no,
You're
you
the
two,
chairman.
you made this first and the second.
I'll
I had
resend
nothing
my
to do with
second, so until we get more information, that'd be better than turning
I'll
it down.
rescind my
How's that?
motion.
it. Thank you.
And that way, at least we didn't completely turn it down without
Say
seeing
no.
the information.
No. How's that? We moving on to the fee discussion
No, I
again?
still have a whole bunch of stuff.
Oh, dear, all right.
Next up, we talked about zoning board. I have 2 people that are interested in joining the zoning board. I think the board wanted to talk about this.
2 new members?
2 new members.
I would like to suggest,
Wasn't there more inquiries than that? The other ones haven't.
No, I had a married couple ask, but then they backed out.
I'd like to make a comment, if I may, before I make any motion. Okay, I'd like to publicly clear the air, because for the record, my intention was, I have all due respect for the current members of the ZBA, and I think maybe some of this was taken out of context. I feel that a lot of these people that served on the ZBA for various years have given a lot to the town, have provided a public service, and by no means did I mean by like, they're sitting back and like being a holding pattern, did I mean any insult or injury to any of these people. I respected what they did for the town, and I'm of the position still that I would like, if we appoint somebody, I would like to make it temporary, meaning like for a couple months until we have a sit-down with all the various boards to figure out how we can address this issue with small lots. I don't think, I think the ZBA follows the law. I think they work to the best of their abilities. And I was actually approached by a former ZBA member, I won't mention his name, but they, that said that he would still like to serve, but because of the situation, and I just wanted to clearly tell that I, as one member, would like to just sit down and figure a way to do this, but I want to make sure that I meant no ill will to any member of that board. But I still have the position that I'd like to sit back and come up with a longer-term solution than just say, automatically just reappoint people.
My position is we offered that the other night, and they said we did it once and got nowhere, and the finger was all pointed at us that it was all our fault. And we had a meeting with them, we discussed things, and we thought we were somewhere near and thinking of what everybody was doing. And they can't get members. Is there something wrong why they can't get members to join their committee? We just put a thing out, and since some people are gone, people have interest in joining now. Does that mean anything? I mean, where do we go with this?
I was just saying, I will make a motion to approve these members, I just don't want to do like 3-year terms, that's all I'm saying. So,
What are,
me see
I don't,
what-
can we even
Yeah,
do
you
6
wanna-
months terms? Can I see those after you're done? Because I didn't have those in my
I don't know
packet.
who they
well, I
are.
don't have them either. Why don't we just make these, 1-year terms?
One year would bring it back up right about now. 6 months would get us into the winter time, and there might be a little bit more time for discussion.
Right.
So where's this gonna get us? What are the other people gonna do? They've already resigned, and where's this
They
gonna put us?
haven't resigned yet.
Yes, they have. I read resignation
Oh, did they?
letters.
All right.
We also
Sorry about
gotta
that.
accept the resignations and,
Sorry. Go ahead.
I think Ms.
Can Matt speak? He's on his
It's,
own.
you're the chairman, you can tell him to speak if you want.
No, I mean,
It's up to
I'm
you,
asking
yeah.
you guys. There's 3
You're the
guys
chair,
here.
I
I
don't
would
care.
like
There's
to,
3 guys here.
I would like to, I'm sorry, you're on the ZBA?
Yeah.
Can you come up to the table?
I don't have a problem. I just asked you guys.
I'm fine with that, listening to
If
what you have to
everybody
say.
agrees, I don't have a problem.
You're the chair.
I know I'm the chair.
I'll let anybody talk anytime.
I'm the chair, but I like to hear
I-
people
I-
talk. and-
I'll hear, whatever you guys gonna say, I'll hear it, because I'd rather hear it from the people, not to make a decision. It's easier that way. Go ahead.
Sure. No, ask away.
What was yours?
I know that the chairman, Roy, has resigned. Another guy with 20-something plus years of experience, he resigned.
Yeah, he was a
And,
new member.
Another guy with quite a few years of experience has resigned. I only have 3 years, and I have a mountain and a half to learn still. I think my biggest concern is that now that these guys are gone, and with all the commercial and residential applications that are coming up as early as the 22nd, I'm in no position to really be a chair on that board, especially for some of the commercial ones that are going to be touchy with neighbors and, commercial lots on Route 4. So I don't know. I think it's the small lot issue is more of a legal issue than an opinion issue. And I think that will take a long period of time. It could even take votes by the town in order to get some of those ordinances passed. That's my opinion and giving you some information.
Now, I know you can't speak on the people that resign's behalf, but is it strictly based on us kind of dragging our feet and, I mean, would they reconsider?
Yeah, I would probably not
No, I mean,
comment
obviously,
on
you know.
their-
it would be-
Yeah.
I have one. I, for one, don't like to be browbeaten into a position. And I don't like that, but I didn't mean what I just said. I would like to see possibly if we could reach out with an olive branch, because my intentions when I was making these decisions was not for the whole board to walk up and quit. And I wasn't looking, I actually didn't want anybody to quit.
They chose that, Scott. That's the problem I have. They chose
Well,
it. There's articles in the paper downing us that people are making comments about. I've heard people run their mouth, and you know what? I don't like it. If they had something to say, don't do it in the paper. Come to our face and say it to us.
Yeah,
don't
but I
like
mean,
getting
that's
bashed
part of
in
the gig when we
newspaper.
sign up is that stuff.
But
And why can't we get any new members to this board? Is there something stale? What is going on? I want to know. These guys have asked for members for the last 2 years, and they have a hard time getting a member. Now that a few people are gone, there's interest in people getting on the board, so where is the problem here? That's what we need to find. It's not a personal issue. We need to find out what the problem is.
My question, though, and I agree
And
with
I'm
you.
going to be as honest as I can.
My question is, I agree with you, Rick, but are these people that are volunteering for this board properly, I guess, qualified to sit on this board? I don't
There's
know.
no qualifications.
I understand
Any
you don't have-
resident can do it.
I'm not saying you have to have qualifications, but in the zoning board with all the laws and stuff, it does help to have some sort of knowledge of the system. I'm not
It
saying you
does,
have to have it to
but
be on it.
it's
I'm
not
just saying it-
required.
I didn't say it was, I'm
you
just asking.
typically, if I give you my take on this board,
Yeah, go for it.
it's an adjudicated board. It's when it rises to a thing that I can't get, I'm not in compliance with an ordinance.
Right.
So that's why it says I need a variance or I can't get a building permit. It's supposed to give a group of unbiased people, per se, they're not, but almost like a judiciary board that says, let's hear your case and see if you meet I believe there's 5 criteria.
Yep, 5 questions typically, yep,
Yeah.
always. 5 questions.
So, but that being said, they can be lay people. They have somebody on the board that is per se very familiar with the
It's just
statutes.
a question, that's
No,
all.
no, no, it was a good question.
I respect anybody that wants to volunteer for these boards, because it's a lot of time to take out of your time. If you want to do it and do it right, it takes a lot of time out of your day. You can't just show up for a meeting and you're on the board. If you know this, it's a lot more time than just you show up and you have a discussion. Usually,
And the
there's
proper
lead
thing
up
to
to
do is to
that.
go up to the site, that's in
Yeah.
question, is asking for the variances or special exceptions. The thing that's difficult at this point, if they come back, it's a little bit different, but if they don't, with these being legal, and again, me being 3 years, still, it's very difficult, because you have, you know, how your meeting runs, it's a specific order to do things. Same with variances and special exceptions. If it's not done properly, if the answers aren't correct, they can bring you to court. And that's a scary part of the zoning board, and we've been brought to court. We've won in every case, but
I don't know if that's all true every case.
since I've been on the zoning board, it has.
But I think there's been some times in the past when they didn't win.
Yeah,
I read the article and
We've had, I mean, I've been a selectman for a long time. We've had a couple cases, well, we've had some cases where, let's just say they were settled, which they were, a judge saw them, but they were settled out of court. We didn't actually go to court. We came to like, I guess the term would be
mediation agreement.
Okay, so there has been, since I've been here, there's been several and that's no measurement of the ability of the board, or just the reality is usually the best thing is to avoid court at all costs, and sometimes, you know, based on advice from counsel to say, you know, you might want to just settle this outside of court and kind of basically let the selectmen grant or the board, you know, it is what it is. That being said, I will agree that the town has never had what I would say, a major loss or a lawsuit, because the ZBA has done their job.
Yep.
Just want to say that, and I don't think, I actually don't think the board in any way actually came out and said that they hadn't been doing their job and they didn't do a good job. They just said we wanted to take a look at some things.
Sure.
So,
Like I say, we didn't fire any of them. They did what they did on their own. They took it up on themselves to make the decision to resign. He didn't resign, he's still here. Another guy's on, he didn't resign either, he's still here.
so,
If you want to make a comment, make it. I see your lips moving.
Well, I was going to make the comment that the whole, to wait on finding a solution to the small lot situation in Northwood, which there is a small lot situation in Northwood. There's a
We
billion.
all know that. That's pretty obvious.
And it's funny, when I look at a small lot that has a septic going into a 50-gallon drum, that's close to the water, that has been there for 30, 40 years, and they're looking to add a small addition, whether it's a 2-foot by 2-foot addition or a second floor. All of a sudden, that house now has to have the current electric codes, has to have the proper insulation and heating system, better plumbing, and a state-approved septic. So, in my opinion, which doesn't always necessarily coincide with how I vote because of the legality of it, but in my opinion, those small lot enhancements are good for the town. Now, development, I would say, would be a different story. If they've had a plot of land there that's substandard and they want to build a house, they bought the property, they knew that that's what it was, it's good for camping, and that's probably going to be about it. But to reconstruct the existing homes into something that's better and safer for the community, I think it's a good deal.
and I won't mention a name, but one of the ZBA members did reach out to me. And he kind of got into that. He said, you know, Scott, it's our understanding and that there was a legal, when you get to that situation, they've kind of, correct me if I'm wrong, because sometimes I am wrong.
Me too.
But if the state says you can fit a septic in the well in there, you kind of guys got your hands tied, right? Not tied, but.
Not tied, it does require a state-approved septic.
Yeah, so if you get but my understanding was if you could get a state-approved septic and the well radius met where it could safely put in,
Yep.
then it's kind of like,
Well, one of the prerequisites is having a state-approved septic.
yeah.
Whether we like the state-approved septic or not, we're not the designers, so we have to go along with what the state says. So, yeah, and our hands are tied under that circumstance, yeah.
I agree with that, but it shouldn't impede the guy's well next door that's lived there for 20 years.
Right, that'd be up to the state.
I know, but that falls through the cracks, and it has in the past.
Sure.
And
That's falling through the state cracks, not
I know,
our
but still.
cracks.
it's a problem.
That might have not came out
Those
right.
small lots. No, that's fine. It's a problem.
But I will stay on the board if appointed, or even if I'm not appointed, I guess I still have the,
Was your appointment up?
Yeah, there was 3 or 4 that were up at one time.
I know that there are a lot of cases coming up. It's going to be the busy season. I don't want the town to have to go through months of waiting for a full board membership, or, you know, for you guys to have to crack the books and learn real quick. So if I can stay on and help the town through that, then I'll stay on. And if you have any
My
questions.
intent is,
I'd like to see you
our
stay on.
intent wasn't to push anybody out.
But-
They
but-
chose to drop out.
I would like you to stay on.
I'd like you to stay on.
I don't
too.
have any problems with you, Matt. I think you've done a good job, and, you know, but these guys that jumped the gun because of whatever, that's their decision. They did it.
Yep.
We didn't force them to resign. We didn't ask them to resign. And I don't want the finger pointed because it was our problem. They did what they did. We didn't tell them to go. We didn't tell them nothing.
Yeah, I won't.
If they couldn't be patient, that's their fault.
I won't even pretend to speak on their behalf.
And I don't expect you
Better
to
that way.
comment on
It's
it.
better that way.
But I'm just straightening out my position.
Small enough to-
They did what they did on their own. It wasn't because of us.
I didn't expect them to come. You want me to grab it?
So do you want to
support-
wait to do those and extend your olive branch like you were talking about, or do you want to appoint those two? Because you were talking something about extending an
I
olive branch.
talked to one person, I don't know. I'm not trying to,
I think we need to appoint some more people. They need alternates, and if the alternates don't want to serve, if the other people come back, it's their right to withdraw.
Yeah, but these guys are we appointing alternates now, or actual people to take the places of
Matt
the
needs
ones
to
that
be
resigned?
reappointed. And how about the other guy? What's Curtis's last name? I don't know, but. Was he up for reappointment? He wasn't one either.
No, it was Tom and
Matt,
Matt, and there was one other one that I can't think of the name right off the top of my head.
the chairman wasn't. He was up for reappointment?
no, I don't think.
I didn't think he was, but maybe I'm wrong.
I thought it was Curtis and Tom, I
Let me go-
believe.
let
I
me
could
go
be
get the-
wrong.
Yeah, I don't think the, I don't think he was up.
Sorry, Joe.
Well, we're not gonna finish, but
No, but I'd like to reappoint him.
that's fine. I don't have a problem with it.
What do you want to do with those?
I think we ought to appoint them, and if they accept to serve, if something changes and the other people come back and they don't want to serve because they're on the board, that's their prerogative to withdraw at that time.
Is there any limit to how many people you can have on your zoning board?
It's five.
Yeah, but they can have alternates.
5 and 2 alternates.
My concern is, Rick, I don't completely disagree with you, but my concern is, let's say that the other two decide they want to come back, or 3, or how many ever resign, decide they want to rescind their resignation, in other words, stay. And we appoint these, then they're become alternates, correct? Is that how that would work?
Right now, there's only 2
This is
members on the board right now. So if the 2 new people come in,
And the other 3, so you'd still be okay? I just don't want to take away a spot from somebody that might want to come back that's been there. Not to say they would, but
That's their choice, their decision.
He's the guy with the beard that was here.
who?
Well, I'll make him.
What's that?
It's,
The other 3.
This one right now is officially resigned.
I'm not going there on the resign guys tonight.
Okay, that's what I was gonna say.
I'm not making any
That's
decision.
why I
If you
was-
guys want to, that's
No,
fine.
no, that's why I was like, let's hold off on that.
If they resigned, they resigned as
Curtis
far as
didn't.
I'm concerned.
no, he didn't.
All right. I would like to make a motion to appoint Matt Fowler
To a
to
three-year
ZB,
term.
to zoning board of adjustment. When is, usually you have a recommendation on,
When the term
when
expires.
does the term expire on this one?
Should be 3 years, right?
Yeah, oh, she didn't put it on.
She didn't put it on there.
I would think it'd be
It's
3
March
years.
31st,
It's usually
usually 2020.
Do you,
I think it's March 31st, 2020.
it should be, yeah, unless you gentlemen want to do it at 6 months or.
Well, we can stagger one of the other ones. He's still here, and I think he should
I
have
think
the option to
I'd
be the
like to give
3-year
him the
guy.
3-year term. That's my opinion with that one.
Well, let's make this, I'm gonna write this and we can bring it back. I'd like to make a motion to appoint, Matt Fowler, term of office, immediately and, expires on March 31st of 2020.
I'll
I can
second.
bring the,
Second.
documents in the sign.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So Matt's been reappointed. I would like to make a motion to nominate Curtis Nailed. Did I pronounce that right?
Close enough.
For a term that goes to the, effective immediately to March of 2020.
2020.
Second. Any discussion?
Nope.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
3-0. Aye.
Okay, I would like to make a motion to approve Tim Jandabar for, to March of 2018.
March 2018?
So you're doing a one-year term?
Yeah.
Oh, it's about 8 months, but okay, yeah, that's fine.
Well, if you guys want to go longer.
No, I think that's what, right around, it's about 7, 8 months. It's enough time to do what you want to do, Scott, like you were talking about.
Okay, so I'll move that to 2018.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? Seeing none, vote aye,
Aye.
Aye.
3-0.
And then I'd like to make a motion to appoint Babette Morrell for a term effective immediately to March 31st of 2018.
I'll second that.
Any discussion?
I have none.
Call the vote, all in favor?
Aye.
3-0,
Okay.
passes.
So right now, we have 4 members. I would like to, you know, I don't know, if some of the people they wanna, no, I'll just put out a thing that if they wanna change their mind, I mean, it was not my intention to have all these people resign. So.
They want to change their mind, we can discuss it, I guess.
They want to reconsider. I don't want to accept it. I guess I don't want to accept their resignations tonight, but I guess we got to accept a couple of them because we do have 4 people on the board now, and we only have 1 position open.
You have 1 position and then you have
Alternates.
2 alternates, yeah.
So we could,
What are we gonna do in that case?
Well, if we were to accept the resignations, that would not preclude them to coming back.
No, it won't. They can
All
reapply.
right, do you have the resignations?
I didn't
'Cause
realize we
Well,
weren't.
we have to accept those in public.
Wait, I didn't realize we were doing that tonight. It wasn't on the agenda.
It wasn't on the agenda, but no discussion tonight.
Okay, we're gonna hold off on accepting the resignations till the next meeting.
Second. Any discussion?
I don't think do we even have to vote on that?
I don't know, maybe we should.
No, you're good.
We'll just hold off till.
I have just a quick question on that, though. So let's say we held off, now that we've held off on accepting their resignations, and they go to a meeting, say there's a zoning board meeting before our next
Well,
meeting.
right
They're
now,
technically still on the board,
right
correct?
now, where we have appointed, we have actually have 4 appointed people. So there's only 1 open.
No, but my question is they technically haven't resigned yet because we haven't accepted it.
Well,
So
they
they're-
didn't get, but the way the law's written is.
They didn't get
We filled in their
renominated.
spots. We filled their spots.
We filled their
Okay,
spots
that's what I was
based
wondering.
on-
All right,
No.
that's what I was wondering. We filled their spot, because I
But
did
one
read
of
that
them,
before.
so I guess the thing is, we have to accept the resignation of
Roy Pender.
Roy Penn, who else? Oh, that was it.
That was it.
Roy was the
No,
one that
Bruce
was,
Farr resigned.
Oh, Bruce Farr too.
Yeah. and
Bruce Farr
The other
resigned.
Bruce Farr.
gentleman resigned too.
And Mr.
Paul.
he was up, though. Mr. Johnson was up. so-
Johnson was up. He was
he
just
didn't
not.
So we reappointed his
Spot.
position.
Yep.
Uh,
And Mr. Fowler and Mr. Curtis are.
already on there.
So those 2 we have to accept, correct?
Well, so yeah, okay, I'll make a motion to accept Roy Penn's resignation.
I'll second.
What about Bruce Farr? We're gonna do them separate.
I'll do separate.
Any discussion?
I'd just like to say thank you for serving and giving us
Yeah, I'd
your
like to say
time.
thank you for serving on the town. It's appreciated. I do truly feel that way. I just, it is what it is.
Call for a vote.
Aye,
Aye.
with regret.
With regret, and if you could send them a letter thanking them for his service. So we all set now, because we got,
Did you want to do Mr.
That
Farr?
one,
Yeah.
Mr. Farr.
I'll make a motion to accept Bruce Farr's resignation with regret. Same thing, it's unfortunate that this occurred.
I'll second that motion.
Thank you for the discussion. It's unfortunate this occurred.
Once
Well,
again, thanks for the,
Thanks for your service. It is greatly appreciated. So I want to accept it with regret, though.
All in favor?
aye with regret.
Aye.
All right. And then you said you haven't actually received another one, or?
Have a good night.
Mr. Pollock,
Mr. I don't think we got his yet.
I don't think we have anything in writing, but I heard.
all right.
We moving on now, or are we all set with that, or?
Nope, continuing on with, not so much a resignation, but, the board saw, Ms. Severance's letter last meeting, and we would like to send her a letter thanking her for her 38 years of service. She's finally retiring after all
We
these
have to
years.
accept her resignation, too.
Yes, you had to accept her resignation.
I'll make a motion to accept Marcia Severance's resignation with regret.
Second.
I'd just like to thank Marcia for her many years of service.
I would like to thank Marcia personally, because I think she's been an asset to the town. She's been a good lady, and she's done a good job, and I wish her well in her retirement.
Is that a position we need to post, Joe?
That was my next thing. I was going to ask if you gentlemen wanted to post it.
All right, so
Let's get rid of this, let's take care of this first.
Any more discussion?
Nope.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 3-0.
Yeah, I'm okay with you posting it, Joe. Yeah, I mean, it's gotta be posted.
Yeah, it's,
road, any update on the road construction bids? Sorry.
No. Was there anything else under what you were just discussing, or he's still got papers over there? I don't want to shut him
no,
off.
that was the last thing. Thank goodness.
All right, so now we're gonna move on to road construction.
Yeah.
I just got a quick question on that, Joe. I was looking at that. Why did they, choose the one company for all the roads except for Genis Pond? What was the reasoning for that?
Because he didn't rebid it the second time.
Yeah, they didn't, that same R&D didn't bother to resubmit.
What do you mean the second time? We did a second bid on roads?
Well, there was a change in how much material was gonna be dug out or was gonna be put in, and the low spot near Lake Shore Farm was wet on both sides of the road.
I was just wondering why, it just kind of struck me as why we would do that one with somebody else. That was my question. And I didn't know that, plus the price was lower. That was the other thing that kind of caught my
Right.
eye. I was like, why would we do that? And then now
we
you
didn't do
explained-
it.
Now that you explained it, it makes sense why they chose the other one, but looking at it here, it just didn't quite click in my brain. That's it. That's all I had for a question.
So an update on that, I talked to GMI and they came back, they actually lowered their price down to $183,000 to do Genis Pond. So they came down another something like $14,000.
183 even?
183,400.
Okay.
So who's the recommendation for?
That's who they recommend.
That was the recommendation for Genis Pond.
But there's still more to it than that.
All right, well, wait,
No.
I thought, if I may, Mr.
Go ahead.
Chairman, I thought we were gonna package these so that we went with one vendor.
We tried to, but it didn't work. They chose not to vend. That's what we just discussed.
Right. We could still go with one
The guy that
vendor.
bid the first time around, then when the specs were changed, he chose not to rebid the second time.
We could still go with one vendor, but
gonna cost
GMI
us
is
more
more
money.
expensive. That's why they chose, it looks to me like they chose R&D because they were cheaper.
Who's done our roads in I mean, we've switched vendors. I've been kinda
We've
happy
been
with
switching back and forth.
Yeah, GMI has been the one that I've dealt with for the last 2.5 years.
So GMI's not the lowest bid, though.
On one.
On one.
Let me provide a little bit more information, and maybe this will help your decision-making. I called R&D and let them know the decision of the committee, and made sure that they wanted to do the jobs, the other 3 roads, and they declined. They said they don't want to do the work.
They don't want to do no.
So why'd they put in a bid if they didn't want to do the work?
They were upset that they didn't get all the work. They felt that they should have got Genis Pond.
Well, he didn't rebid. He had a choice to rebid.
That was my response. It's like you didn't turn in the paperwork.
Okay.
So,
So we're back to square one. How about the talk about the engineer coming and doing a test to see what's under the road so we do it properly? That was a big discussion the other night at the Highway Advisory meeting.
After the committee looked at Janice Pond, there was a motion to award that to GMI.
Without any testing?
That's
I was
what-
at the meeting.
That's
No.
what the motion was.
No.
Yeah. I don't know, no, Bruce is the one that made the motion. If the board would like, though, if this committee would, board would like,
I
we
guess
can
I
do,
was
we can
con-
do some
I guess I was confused because
engineering.
that isn't the way I thought I was voting.
So are we trying to, my question is, are we trying to decide who we're going with tonight?
I need some advice on
I
what.
would-
Well, you need, my opinion is, one of the biggest issues we have, and we've been getting a lot better at it, is I think if we get this done, I'd like to see us get this paving done
Now.
earlier
ASAP.
than waiting until the late fall.
Right,
I agree with that 100%, but we're not gonna rubber band roads like we've been doing, and that was the problem with Janice Pond Road. There was a misunderstanding on how to do it. Some people wanted to go in there and pave over what's there, other people wanted to put 1.5 foot of gravel on the road and build the road up to get rid of the water
Well,
problem
we put
that is
out,
there.
we put out specs
Right.
based on talking to highway, I would assume on Highway Advisory Committee's specifications.
that means that whatever we put for specs, they
So
gotta
we
get.
put out specs ahead of time saying, this is what we want for Janice Pond, correct? So we got people that bidded on Janice Pond, correct?
Yes.
That means they need to follow those specs.
So.
Not if it's wrong. We're not rubber banding another road in
Well,
this
what do you mean
town.
it was wrong? Why
We
is
made
it
the
wrong?
specs, though.
Why?
Who did it wrong?
Because someone dropped the ball. I'm not gonna point the finger. You decide who did it wrong. I'm not gonna point the finger at who dropped the ball. If you wanna say it's so-and-so, you say it's
Well, I'm
so-and-so.
not saying anybody, but if somebody gave us specifications from a committee that was the advisory committee,
Let Bruce speak on it. He's on the committee. There was a problem, Scott, and that's all I'm gonna tell you. I'm not gonna point the finger at anybody.
so what do you want, to rebid it? Is that what you're saying?
Whatever we gotta do.
Uh,
Right now, the second bid is GMI. And before I award the bid to them, I wanna know how they're gonna do the road.
GMI is going to do it as the committee discussed at the last meeting, per the addendum.
Do we have that in writing?
Yes. Them, GMI, and Advanced Paving bid that. The second time around, Advanced was $230,000.
So what is the recommendation?
They recommend, well, they had R&D for the other three, but it sounds like they're
Now they
out.
withdrew, so.
So I would recommend, if we're gonna go with GMI on Janice Pond, we might as well keep them for, they're still the lowest, they're the next lowest bidder of all the roads. So if we're gonna give them Janice Pond, why don't we should just give them
Do we have
all.
enough money to do all these roads?
We're not sure.
No, we don't. Look, can I make a suggestion?
This has been a bad week, Scott. That's all I'm gonna say about all this.
Bigelow Road,
Comes with the job.
Bigelow Road is not on this year's paving
So take it
schedule.
off.
We took it off. That's what we did.
That would give you,
Highway Advisory.
if you did that, if you took Bigelow off, you'd have enough to do Janice Pond, Temperance Hill, and Lower Deerfield and through GMI. They would be able to do those three roads.
I think that should be our best bet then.
Was that the recommendation of the committee?
No, well, they had recommended the other three before they realized that they backed
This
out.
guy withdrew. That wasn't the original recommendation.
But I'm assuming if we kick it back, they're gonna
So if this-
recommend
no,
GMI.
But if this, well, we don't need to kick, I mean, this guy's withdrew his bid.
Right,
Yeah.
He's out.
right.
He's, I mean, I'm
I
not
agree.
bidding, he's out.
So I think we should go with GMI for the other three roads.
Well, I'm willing to make a motion for GM.
Can I say something?
Yeah,
first?
we can have, okay, go ahead. Yeah, you're the chair, you can do whatever you want.
Old Lake Road, last year, they did a decent job, but over this winter, there's been problems. The road opened right up where it was seamed. And I don't know what the problem was, I don't know whose fault it was, but if we keep continuing and they keep doing work and the same problem keeps reoccurring, I think we need to look at what they're doing somehow, either through our engineer or whoever has the ability to do it.
No, I recall,
If you looked
I-
at Bull Lake
I-
Road this winter,
I agree with what you're saying, but I do recall that they, in our opinion, we went up there and we don't like how this is done, and they redid the whole thing. It's not like they
They
have,
didn't redo the whole
No,
thing.
for Bow Lake Road, it did the seam open this year, over the summer,
Oh,
or,
yeah,
I'm sorry, over
quite
the
a
winter.
bit. You stick your finger in it.
Yeah, they're gonna come back and they're gonna grind the seam and repave that. They 100% took fault for that and are gonna fix it.
for no
For
cost.
free. That was it.
No, but I'm just saying in the future, if we keep having problems, we need to find out what the problem is. Either we're doing something wrong, or they're doing something wrong. I don't have a problem with them doing the work. I'll back them 100%. Their word has been good, they fixed what's been wrong. But if roads keep breaking in the same spot where the two joints are butted,
It's a problem.
obviously we're doing something wrong, or something is wrong with what's
we,
underneath the
Before
road.
they even start, can we bring that up and say, what are you gonna do to prevent this from coming?
Yeah, the first year I was here, we brought that up for the first portion of I call it the first portion, but this piece right here. We stressed that we didn't want to see those seams open, and we saw no problem.
Don't
So
they
we'll-
usually-
We'll stress it again.
Don't they usually, I thought like when you see them do the roads up, like, I thought they usually go through and they do the two sides and then they put something up the middle so that there's like an
They usually
overlay.
break the joints, but I don't know if that's what happened on Bow Lake Road or not. I know in the past, some of our paving and past guys have done it, the joints over the joint. And that's what's happened in the past in this town.
Yep.
All right, can,
If you're ready to move, give the bid, that's fine with me.
I'll make a motion to,
Give all the work to GMI.
no, I'll make a motion for GMI. Award the contract for Temperance Hill, Lower Deerfield, and Jennings Pond.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? I think we've had enough.
What about this okay.
That's
So
the
you got
section
Lower
1 too.
Deerfield, section 1 and 2, we can do both sections, right?
Yeah.
That was
So that's my motion.
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
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 I'd like to see like that, are we putting out an end of date when they need to be done by?
It's, what was it, 60 days
From awarding
from
them?
awarded? Yeah. This year, we got these out pretty early.
So 60 days from today.
Yeah,
Is it
basically.
60 days from we awarded it tonight?
It's written in there as the Board of Selectmen. If you want to enforce that, you can enforce it. If you don't want to enforce it, it's your prerogative.
I think we ought to enforce
I
it.
think
Well,
we oughta.
60 days is, that's 2 months.
It is, but consider,
I know
okay,
in
so.
the past, they played the game with us. They
They
put
did.
us off, put us on, put us on, put us off.
I'd like to
I
see it
think
done
we
in
ought to
60
stick to our
days.
guns.
Well, you can say the selectmen approved it on the 10th, on the 9th or the 10th.
And it needs to be done with
It
no
needs to
question.
be done by July 10th. That's 60 days. I'll give them 1 or 2,
Um,
30 days.
I'd be okay with July 31st. That gives them more than 60 days.
Yeah, but last year,
I mean, that's
we
still,
got
that's not
bumped
much
3
more than
times.
60
We
days.
got bumped 3 times last year.
60 days.
it says 60 days.
That's 60 days.
We got
Oh,
bumped
okay,
3
but-
times last year. And I don't want to see it again this year.
What's your concern?
I'm trying to say
Well,
it.
spit it out.
School doesn't let out for another month, a little more than a month. Is the board content with letting them do road construction while there are buses out there?
Why can't they night pave?
But they're not gonna night pave.
Well, why'd you put the
It's
specs?
for one day.
Why'd you
It's
put-
for one
It's
day.
one for day, and why'd you put the specs on if you were concerned about the school?
Let the bus make an alternative plan for
Why'd you
one day.
say you can't start till after this and you have to complete it by?
It's up to the Board of Selectmen. Again, it's up to you guys.
I think we
This
put
is-
out the specs at 60 days, that's what we gotta stick with.
Okay, that's what we'll stick with.
I mean, this is how we get in trouble.
Yes, it is.
This is how we get in trouble. We put out oh, I'm gonna change my mind because of this one. Hey, tough luck.
Bus has got a little bit of a little bit of headache for a day or two. I deal with it every day
deal
going
with
to freaking work in Concord.
All right, that's what we'll do. We'll get them on it.
I mean, that's the specs.
They'll be happy to have this work, so I'm sure they'll jump right on it.
Any more comments?
No?
Did we vote?
Yeah, we voted.
All right, we're all
It's
set on
it's like being
that.
at a highway committee meeting.
Yeah.
No, it's not. You put out specifications. The specifications require 60 days.
That's fair, but we just left it open for the selectmen to have some
Yeah, we have the
flexibility,
final
is
say.
is all I'm saying. That's
They
all I'm saying.
recommend, and that's what they did. We have signed
But
tax
the
warrant.
specs did say, no tax warrant?
Are we moving on?
Sounds like it.
I didn't mean to jump the gun, but
Here is the first I'm just gonna leave it all in here so I don't lose it. The first tax bill of the year.
I'll make a motion to approve the property tax levy, tax collector's warrant, in the amount of $5,579,000.
I'll second that.
And, wait, $5,579,000 at $400. 401, sorry. 5,579,401.
I'll second that. Do you,
Discussion, is this money we're taking in or paying out?
money we're taking in.
Yeah, wait a minute.
It's basically to send out the tax bills,
This is the
right?
tax bills, yeah.
All right.
To send out July's tax
Enough
bills.
said. That was my
And
only
that's your-
question.
Call for vote.
Call for a vote, all in favor?
Aye.
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 So,
Passes 3-0.
I moved it, you seconded it, okay.
And it passes 3-0.
Okay.
The assessor said, based on all the new construction and things going on in town, we have about $6 million in new assets this year.
Okay.
And gentlemen, that's, I can give you a heads up on the credit cards. We finally got the equipment for that. We're moving forward finally.
It's not up and running, though.
It's been a challenge.
All right, we're down to town administrator's report. Is that what you just did?
That was
You have
it.
more.
Nope, that's all I got.
Individual selectmen's report. Anybody gonna speak?
Got anything, Scott?
I kind of said my piece with the ZBA thing.
I think, I just like touch base, I touched base on it earlier. I think some of our committees are getting a little, pushy. I mean, we don't have to take all of their, recommendations, I guess. And I think they're getting into the habit of, they think if they recommend it, that we're just gonna be okay, because that's what we have done recently. And I think it's getting, we just need to be a little bit more police on what we're spending our money on. I mean, I know we have the money in these funds and stuff, but that doesn't mean we should just throw up buildings because they want to.
Do you have something else, Joe?
I do, I'm sorry, I took it out of my folder.
He blew it.
It's okay.
I will let him do it. We're early.
Take one and pass it out. DJ, you actually reminded me. The facilities committee looked over where they would like to place the gazebo. Scott, pass this down.
Oh, I actually have,
Where they wanted to place the gazebo.
do you have a picture what this gazebo's gonna look like? Because I've got,
Not yet.
because,
It hasn't been
It hasn't been
designed.
built yet.
all right, so,
I don't know if there's gonna be a gazebo. Someone got that thought in their
no,
mind and,
this is what I picture. I've been to like easy example of park I go to, Wellington State Park.
Okay.
And they got this thing that's got benches, it's up on a platform. Not, just, let me finish. Have you, well, you said you don't know what we're getting. Is it basically a shelter?
It's just a shot. I say gazebo because it seems like.
Is it gonna be something like they have at Webster Park in Epsom?
Yeah.
Have you ever been
it's
there?
just gonna be a roof with posts.
That's basically what it is at Webster Park. It's a roof,
with
poles,
over
and
it,
some benches
cement
underneath.
Yeah, it's going to be gravel, but it's shelter. It's a
It's
shelter.
basically what they have at Webster Park.
Yeah.
Same idea.
And that's what I assumed it was gonna be, like a pavilion. I call them pavilions.
Oh, okay.
It's not gonna be like a fancy bandstand.
So I say gazebo because it seems like that's what
Those
people
gazebos
understood.
are those round things at the end.
I know. It seemed like
Now,
people
well, my
understood.
my other question is, it looks like they wanna cut some more property, some more trees by their drawing.
This drawing is in the trees. What's the
That's-
story with that?
And now
That's what
what,
the facility committee voted.
and now, well, my,
I'm
That's
not
gonna
sure.
increase- that's
I'm
gonna
not
increase
sure
the
on
cost.
that. Because this lady right here, I don't know if she's gonna appreciate our gazebo with putting as close to her boundary line as it
like
is.
Scott said, it's gonna increase the cost.
I mean, okay, you got a grant for 25K, right?
20.
20K. We are gonna get the money to clear cut that timber.
This is facilities. I'm just bringing the recommendation to the board.
I disagree with putting it where we gotta do work to put it.
I disagree too.
I think that
You
this,
got room. Was
So-
this facilities or rec?
Facilities.
facilities.
So there's a, so this is the top field. There's a open area right here.
Yeah, why can't we
This one
put,
and
so
one
there is an
back here.
open area.
It's, that would be my preferable
Why don't we
spot, but I
put
don't
it-
want to go against what the committee
Why
recommended.
don't, I
Well, see,
mean,
that's
you
what
know
I was
what?
saying
That's
in
our
my
discussion.
report, is that we
That's our
don't always have to
discussion.
follow their recommendations.
we don't have
need
to, I mean, no disrespect to the committee,
I-
but that would require us having somebody come in.
You gotta cut it, stump
We'd
it,
have to put
fill
out,
it.
we'd have to put out an RFP. We'd have to take down those trees. We'd have to,
Fill
yeah,
it.
I say,
where's the money gonna come from
well, that's
do
it.
that?
We don't have the money to do
That's,
that.
yeah.
That, we don't have the money.
Right.
my point to begin with was, everybody says, oh, they don't wanna go behind the gate because it's too far away from the fields. My point was, why can't we put it beyond the gate in a reasonable spot? There's gotta be somewhere we
There's
can put
plenty
it.
of clearing up there.
Bruce knows a lot better than I do. I mean, there's gotta be some place we can put it.
Of course there is. I was up there the other day. I did that walk with them for their trails. There's tons, there's open space where they can put this. What's the dimensions of this? 10 by 10?
It's
No.
supposed to be 20 by 30 in the,
It's gonna be
20 by
fairly
30.
good size.
or 10 by
so we can
30,
use
yeah,
it.
it's decent
Yeah, so
size.
my point is, I can't support this.
I just don't think this is the right spot myself.
I just had to bring what the committee said. I try not to influence the
Oh, I
committee
know
as
what
much
you're
as I,
saying.
yeah, you know what I mean?
I know some people that were on the committee didn't want to go beyond the gate because it's too far away from the fields, but I mean, if you put it back here farther, it's kind of between everything, and if you put it up here, it's a pain for the backfields. I mean, it's a catch 57.
Can I see your map?
Did you ever ask them like how we're gonna pay for this? When they suggest that?
I never did. So there's an open space right, I'm gonna circle it right there.
Where's that?
Just above the upper field. I think Bruce
I can't see your spot.
trimmed it back last year and it's pretty
Yeah,
much
but
open
that's on
now.
the hillside, right? Would you have to cut into the hill to put it there?
Is it flat?
I don't know what it's like underneath the dirt, but there were,
I think there's a slope there, isn't there?
He put the slope there.
Yeah, but if we're gonna put a building there, wouldn't we have to take some more of that slope out, is what I'm saying?
That's exactly right, but it's not like you're lacking a place not to put it.
you know, there's enough flat spot.
It's not like cutting trees and stumping them.
It was originally flat, but when we cut the field to get to the grade, we had that excess fill. Rather than haul it all over the place, we put it there. It can come out, I mean, it's just stuff that we put there, so.
Would that be that much of a project to take it out so we could put it there?
Just finding somewhere to put the fill, basically.
There's plenty of place to put the fill, believe me, right on site. I don't think we have a problem there.
And then the other thing was, is part of the grant require you to have signage?
That's the second part I wanted to talk about. So I know the board's not interested in putting up a trailhead. I was gonna ask about just some signs to say there's trails this way.
Well,
okay with
the sign.
I was gonna let you know, maybe, all right, I had a selectman's comment,
Oh, okay,
All right.
but it's
let's hear it.
related to this.
all right.
On Saturday, I went with Conservation Commission and I hiked the proposed trails. Actually did like a 3-mile hike through the woods.
I went behind my house.
Maybe we did.
I know you did.
Why'd you see
Did you
it?
see him?
No, because if you went in through the park behind the transfer station, you went behind my house. Is that the way you went in?
We went up to
The ball fields.
behind the ball fields and went in that way, and
Did you come out at the park?
we came out pretty close to like 100 feet away from where we came in.
Oh, so they did a big circle?
We did a big loop.
So you were close to my house anyways.
So I expressed to the conservation that, speaking as one selectman, I had no problems with trails.
Me neither.
I don't either.
I did, no.
It's
let
the
me
parking.
I says, I think I'm concerned with if you got a sporting event up there, I don't want parents not to be able to get in with their kids to see the games and stuff. So I said, as far as the trails, and I said, signage, I am fine with putting signage in there saying trails over here, trails there. I have no problem with that. The only problem I had is the parking. So they showed me where they want the trail, so I guess in compliance with your grant thing, if we have signage in this saying trails over here, would that cover you for compliance on your grant?
It would. We need to be able to say that we started and pointed to where the trails were, and then it's the beginning of trail construction.
But we need to have it
Oh, is this
posted.
some pavilion so they can put up stuff for the trails and?
No,
No,
it's
no,
got nothing to do with
yeah,
conservation, this pavilion.
No,
It's
it
just a
doesn't.
sign saying hiking trails over here, basically.
Yeah, and then pointing the way. It's the grand idea was to make it something a little more elaborate, but, because I know there's concerns about parking, to make it, to pare it down to where we're in compliance, but we also get to keep the money for other things.
I'm gonna say, like I said before, when we open it up to the general public from Concord, Nashville, Salem, Portsmouth, Dover, Rochester, we're losing control. It says up there, and when this ball field was put in, it says residential use only. And that's the way it was presented to the taxpayers in this town, and that's why I have a problem with opening it up to any outsider from,
So you're gonna tell the kids from Epsom that parents can't watch the game because they're not?
oh, that's fine, they're there for a reason. They're there for a reason, they're
They are too.
invited
They
there.
wanna hike at
They're
your-
invited there, but I'm saying, if we open it up to everybody to go there and use our lovely trails, that's no different, put the sign at the end of
Rick,
Mountain Road and says,
Rick,
this is the class 6
Rick, I agree with
road.
you. I agree with you.
We can put up signs that reiterate that too, right at the,
There's no parking for the trails. Let them park at the
No
state
trail,
park and
no
walk.
trail side parking.
yeah.
They got 19 feet down here that they own next to the flower shop. Why can't they have their trail entrance there? They kept that hidden and didn't admit it until we pried it out of them.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking
They
about.
got a 19-foot right-of-way in there. I know that piece of land very well. I used to drive cars
Right
in
next
there
to
when I was a
Brennan's,
kid.
where the friggin' mini golf place is?
No.
The trail comes
No.
out right beside, yeah, it runs parallel
That
to
is owned by a private citizen,
Yeah,
but
but
he,
doesn't that 19-inch thing that you talk about run like right parallel to
no,
that?
it's down,
Lombard?
you know where McPhee and McGrath Realty used to be?
Yeah.
The trail comes out between there and the guy that has the flower shop.
Right.
That's their right-of-way, going into that piece of land.
Oh, that trail, so you're talking about, so that comes out to where I go through my snowmobile, now I know what you're talking about, where it goes, it basically runs along the storage sheds almost.
It's just
Right.
like a rock.
Right, I know
wall
what
walk.
exactly-
It's
what you're
19
talking
feet wide, it goes
I
back
passed
into
that
that
spot.
field, and then it opens up. Down the road, if they wanna make some parking, they wanna put these covenances on land for, you know, to keep people from cutting the land and save the rights. They need to put some money in their parking lot, and make a parking lot on their own deal. Then they can invite anybody in from the world. But I think as far as inviting the general public to use our parking lots and our rec area, when we have games, it's gonna be a mess.
Well, that's why Rick, we literally pared it down to just put up a sign to stay in compliance. Just to stay in
I don't have
compliance
a
with the
problem
grant.
with the compliance, but
and
I
then
don't
just-
wanna end up in a can of worms by opening the door.
No, we have no intention of advertising it. In fact, one of the local citizens
You don't
helped
have to
fund this
advertise it,
program.
people are gonna come, and I tell you right now, people are gonna pull in there and park, and if we don't enforce it, it's gonna keep happening.
Yeah, and I mean, I agree with you. The
That's what we
parking's
have.
tight.
That's what we have a police department for.
Yeah, I have a lot of faith in that.
Wow.
I'm sorry to say it, but unless we post it, you'll be towed at your own expense. If you're not a resident, they're gonna use the
So we're
property,
gonna start having them have to have a sticker like we do at the beach?
Ah,
whatever.
we could do that.
You know, I don't wanna make a big deal out of it.
During non-sporting events, you're gonna have to have a sticker
Can
in order
we-
to park there?
Can I suggest something? We're all in agreement that we can put signage up
Yeah.
there. We're just not opening it up for parking.
Right, I'm in agreement with that. I'm
We're
in
in
agreement with that.
Where's it gonna go from there is my problem. If it isn't done right now and instituted right, we're leaving it open to anything to change. Your opinion, my opinion,
but-
and somebody else's.
Can they
is
get in
different.
there now, or is the gate shut when there's not an event?
The gate's locked right now.
So you can't get in there?
No, the halfway back. You can get to all the front fields.
Right,
The
so
fields
can
that
you
are
get
out
to the
back.
trails that they're suggesting right now, the way it's sitting? So if
If you
say the
walk, you
trails were
could.
open, if I parked it, so I wouldn't be, I'd still be parking, if I wanted to park up there and get to the trail, I still could.
You could walk and then walk around, yes.
But you could park on what we're arguing about, right?
Right.
So we're gonna, regardless if we put the signs there, we can't stop someone. Yeah, we can police it, but if they wanted to park there now to get to those trails, they could, regardless of what we say.
Yeah,
We'd
because
have to,
we're
we'd
not
still have to,
policing it.
well,
Because we're not
exactly.
policing it.
So if we put the signs there, we're still gonna have to police it, whether we change it or not. We're still gonna have to police it, because they could still, right now, there could be somebody parked there right now walking those trails,
With or without a sign?
with or without a
Sorry,
sign.
I misunderstood.
So, now, what I'm saying is, you're right, Rick, we should police it, but that's something that we can tell Northwood PD to do.
But what I'm saying is, we need to sign it in order to make it legal.
Yeah.
Because the minute you call them and say, all right, we want you to go up there and throw this car out.
That says
No,
Residential-
no trail side parking.
no residential parking, only residents in Northwood.
Yeah, no trail side parking without proper sticker,
Yeah, we
without
could
dump
use
sticker
I
like we
mean,
do.
this is all stuff we can work out.
I know you say that, but once you open the can of worms and you don't close the door now, it'll never happen. Because somebody's gonna grab you by the ear, somebody's gonna grab me by the ear, somebody's gonna grab him by the ear, and they're gonna try to influence you to let it happen.
Yeah, so I don't get influenced by anybody though, that's the thing.
What's next?
I need a motion to be able to put up the sign
I'll
in the
make a motion
gazebo.
to allow Joe to put up the signs, one stating trails ahead.
This
and
way.
One stating, no trail side parking unless you're a Northwood resident or something along those lines.
Could you amend it to residential use, Northwood residents only?
Northwood residents use only,
Yeah,
okay.
that's
I mean,
legit.
whatever you feel the right terminology would be, I guess.
You know what, if people wanna enter through
You know
this-
what we want, you make
Resident-
it happen.
residents
Second.
only.
I'll second it.
All right, I got a little more discussion. If people want to walk through the state park, come out through our ball field, and walk out to the road, and walk down the road, or however they want to get there,
You don't care.
I don't care. My point is, we need to protect what we built for our kids. And I don't think we should give that up. I don't have a problem with trails, I like to walk
I love the
myself.
trail idea, I do.
I'm not against the trails, I'm just against the public use of our rec facility for everybody in the world. And I said it before.
Okay. Call for a
And you
vote.
All in
need a-
favor?
need a vote.
Aye.
Aye.
With the stipulations.
Yes,
I'll run it past you guys before anything gets done.
I think you got a pretty good idea of what we
All
want.
right, so
It's a good discussion. And
we got through this, where are we on the gazebo, or?
I was gonna say, yeah, we need to know about the gazebo
We need to
now.
finish that.
I'm with you guys. I don't see why we should spend whatever it's gonna cost to clear cut that if we have a place to put it.
I don't.
And another thing, we'd have to deal with a lady. I know she's reasonable, but I know she's concerned about her property, and she was concerned when we put the ball fields in there. And I know if we put a gazebo there and we plan on using it and having music, or if we have the beanhole bash there, it's gonna be a problem. I'm just bringing it up now.
I think
That's it.
unless there's an issue with putting it where you said, as far as engineering and designing, I don't see why we can't put it there.
That's a good idea, because we're farther away from the elderly house,
Yeah,
the
come on up.
condos.
You have to ask Rick, he's the chair, I'm sorry. Bruce would like to see the map.
Oh, yeah, let him look at it, give him one.
Where are you talking? This is the upper field, and this is this area right here. I think you may be able to see a small part of it.
I mean,
I don't
this,
wanna cut
this
it.
lady, I don't, you know, I don't want to disrespect her.
Forward down.
She came in here before and beat us up pretty good when we were putting the ball fields in, and if the guys are gonna use it for the beanhole bash, I think it needs to be back up.
I think that's a dangerous thing, though.
Huh?
I think that's another thing, though, opening that up for being a whole bash.
Well, I don't know, I don't
I
think
like
so.
it, but I like the idea of more room.
It's for one day only,
I
that's
know,
it.
it's two.
2 days.
Oh, 2 days.
I like it
whatever.
for the extra room, you're absolutely right, it's extra room, but sometimes, and that doesn't mean, but sometimes when you start opening these fields up to certain
Oh, I know.
venues, you start getting certain things that happen that shouldn't, you know? Somebody gets out, somebody gets a little too intoxicated, gets out on the field with the.
Well, if they do, you know what, they need to be punished.
I agree, but,
Punisher.
And when they leave, the gate needs to be locked.
all right.
Is everybody under the same
I'd like to
understanding?
put it where, if we can put it in the spot that you, I don't know what you guys discussed, in a spot where we don't have to clear cut or make any significant increase to what it's gonna cost the town,
Somebody already said that.
and I'd rather go there.
It's, Bruce just, I'm sorry.
Yep.
Go
Go ahead.
Bruce just made a suggestion maybe to just walk the site one more time just to make sure that's where we want it, and then bring back the recommendation.
I think that's a great idea.
Once this thing's in the ground, it's not going anywhere. We
Right.
want to get it right the first time.
I'd like to be there to see it myself, so I have a better understanding.
Is there a way we can schedule that where all three of us can
I
be there?
can, but-
We're allowed, I don't know if we can we all three be at a site at the same time?
As long as you're not talking about business.
Okay.
If you have
No,
a
you
quorum,
can
it's,
We're
post
not gonna
it.
vote
I got
anything.
news for you. You can post
can
what's
post
called
it.
a site visit.
Do a site
we were going
walk.
to do it tomorrow.
The planning board does a site walk.
We can do a site walk.
When do you guys want to do a site walk?
I'm pretty
I'm
flexible.
free pretty much any night after 2 in the afternoon. I mean, Wednesdays are preferably better for me, but
I can't do a site walk, I'm traveling. I'll be back on Sunday afternoon. I can do a site walk next week.
what if we did it on like a Tuesday or something, would be like our normal meeting night, just do a quick site walk and be done.
Yeah, you guys want to do it next Tuesday?
Yeah, can we do it at 5?
Yeah, do it, like, that would be nice for me too. I
5
mean,
o'clock?
well, it's not a meeting, it's just a site walk,
Well,
that's
yeah,
it.
but you gotta post it, and you just
That's
post
fine,
it.
we
Right.
got plenty of time to
And you
post
can
it.
put it at 5 o'clock up at, the ball fields.
Yep.
And that way, like, we can walk it and then we can just, can we make a
You
decision on
wanna
that
make a
that night?
motion
right?
on it, or are we just gonna
We're
do it?
posting
Oh, you
it.
can post a meeting for that. Well, you're chair.
Yeah, I think you can, I think you can make decisions, as long
Has
as it's
to be
posted
posted,
and
right.
it's
As long as
open
it's
to the
post-
public, you
As
can
long as you
make, yeah.
post it, you gotta keep minutes, though,
So you're gonna post it for next
Tuesday at 5.
Tuesday?
Yep.
You write it
at
down,
5.
at 5.
Or
the
site
ball
walk only.
fields.
Site walk only.
Yep,
Well, we're not gonna have a regular meeting.
right. It's just that's
So we
it.
can do second
We go
citizen,
home.
we wanna do second citizens forum, though?
You have any more to say?
You're done, right?
I'm done.
Lucy's
I'm
got it. We didn't, yeah, we
Yeah,
didn't
but we
ask
got
Lucy.
second citizens
I
forum.
know, I forgot that. I'm sorry. Second citizens forum. Would anybody like to speak? Did she hear me?
Nope. You good?
Did you hear me, Lucy? You have any comments tonight? No? I didn't know if you were into your phone and had me zoomed out. All right, thank you.
I'd like to make a motion, we have non-public, I assume.
Yeah, we do have
Yep.
non-public
I'd
tonight.
like to make a motion to go into non-public under RSA 91A:3, paragraph 2, and I'm assuming it's A and D.
A and D, yes, sir.
I'll second.
You have to roll call.
Roll call. Aye.
Donald Hutchin, yes.
I also vote in the affirmative, Scott Breyer.
Rick Wolf, yes. 3-0.
Now we're non-public.
We're now in non-public.
I'll make a motion to come out of non-public.
Second? We'll have a roll call.
I vote yes, Scott Breyer.
DJ Hutchin, yes.
Rick Wolf, yes.
I'll make a motion to seal the minutes.
I'll second that motion.
We have to make some.
Call for a vote.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, I'd like to make a motion to, on map 219, lot 35, to approve an abatement of $5,589.93.
Second that.
Any discussion?
Are we making this known that this is one that we've already made okay, and that we just didn't get paid out?
Didn't get applied.
Didn't get applied, right, so we could make that known to the public.
Okay. It's an administrative abatement.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 So it passes. And then I would like to make a motion to, map 212, lot 72, it's an eviction notice. I move that, we proceed with the eviction notice.
I'll second that.
Any discussion?
There you go.
Thank you.
I have none.
None.
I have none.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Passes 3-0.
I'd like to make a motion for adjournment.
I'll second.
Amen. It's over.
Roll call. Donald
Aye.
Hutchin, yes.
Rick Wolf.
Aye.
We're doing a roll call on the adjournment.
Now adjourn.